your offer.
Here's what Fence Outlet customers have to say about their experience.
The Fence Outlet team is knowledgeable and professional. They have fair prices and they take care of the permits. I'm very happy with my Fence Outlet fence.
Check them out for yourself at fenceoutlet.com. License number C10252 and C10803.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
You can always count on a classic. It's timeless and tastefully legendary. That's the truth behind the Troppy Chop. Often imitated, too delicious to be duplicated. The sauce just won't taste the same. But to really stand out, you gotta stay fresh and move to the beat of your own bowl. The Troppy Chop, only at Pollo Tropical. A classic that never goes out of style.
That huge data breach from a few weeks ago has probably moved off your radar, but your information could still be on the dark web. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious activity, like someone using your info. If there's a problem, LifeLock's U.S.-based identity restoration specialists will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but LifeLock will help protect your identity long after this breach is forgotten. Save up to 25% your first year. Use promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Go with your gut. Go with Dinovite. 70% of your dog's immune system is based in the gut. So, for overall health, good nutrition is vital. But how can you be sure your dog is getting the nutrition they need? A diet lacking proper nutrients can present issues like itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE. Dinovite is the delicious nutritional supplement created to boost your dog's overall health. And the reviews are incredible.
Poor Sam. He was a mess, always itching. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dinovite, I started to see improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent.
Right now, try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio. That's DINOVITE.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Are you offended yet? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks so much for tuning in on this beautiful Monday. Got some storms rolling through, the normal stuff here on a summer afternoon in Central Florida, so just mind yourself. Cash is your 3 o'clock keyword, CASH. Go to realradio.fm and send that off. Maybe you win that $1,000. Remember, if you're playing the game, keep your phone near. That's how they tell you you've won. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack and Ross are right over there. Let's get a check of the news. Here is Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
And as always, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. All right, lot to cover. Let's jump in with both feet. Police in New York are still searching for evidence at the home of alleged Gilgo Beach murderer Rex Hauerman. Authorities executed a search warrant at the 59-year-old married father's storage unit on Long Island on Sunday and returned to his home today. Investigators are looking for so-called trophies related to the killings and are trying to figure out if Hauerman is connected to additional murders in the area. He's so far charged with 3 murders and is the prime suspect in a 4th, but the remains of at least 6 other people, including a toddler, are part of the case. All right, also up in the Northeast, 5 people have died after rain slammed southeastern Pennsylvania and caused severe flooding. Police say 2 children are still missing after being swept away by the floodwaters that overtook the area yesterday afternoon. They said they got 7 inches of rain in only 45 minutes.
That's unbelievable. That's like a water faucet. That's not even rain. It's like a solid deluge of water.
I mean, 7 inches in only 45 minutes.
That's inconceivable, man.
So southern Connecticut and southeastern New York were also under flash flood warnings yesterday. New York Governor Kathy Hochul warned residents not to travel unless it's absolutely necessary. And those people that were swept away, they said that they were actively driving on the roads when these floodwaters just all of a sudden overtook the road. So it wasn't like drivers saw high water and, did the irresponsible thing and drove into it.
We can make it.
They were just already on the road.
Right, yeah.
The family with these 2 missing children, they were on their way to a barbecue when all of a sudden this rainwater just washes. There were 11 cars on the road at the time when the floodwaters came in. 3 cars were swept away.
Damn.
So the National Weather Service says most of the flood deaths happen in cars. The rain also left thousands of people without power and caused delays and cancellations at airports around New York City and Boston, really around the country. And travelers are running into those flight delays and cancellations at Florida airports. I talked about how my fiance Chris and his dad and uncle went to Chicago this weekend. All 3 of their flights, or both of their flights, were canceled coming home last night. And they said everything out of Midway and O'Hare coming to Florida was completely booked.
I'm flying next month.
Are you?
At the end of the month. I'm not looking forward to it. The road trip that we just took on my vacation, driving in North Carolina, it was great. Having your car,
it's the greatest.
Because it's like
it's an adult whoopee.
Yeah, when you go shopping or something, it's like just throw it in the car. You don't have to think about, will I be able to fit it in my suitcase?
It's the greatest.
And you can take more than you need and whatever you think you might want. If it fits, throw it in.
Because, of course, when they canceled that flight, every other flight around that had even an inkling of a seat available. Something goes from $280, now it's $500, now it's $700.
Yep.
One-way ticket, just trying to get back home.
Now I'm not driving to Chicago.
Got to skip lag that ass.
Yeah, there you go. FlightAware reports over 300 flights have been delayed at international airports in Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers, Jacksonville, Miami, Orlando, Palm Beach, and Tampa. Close to 100 had already been canceled as of late this morning. And this, of course, comes as severe storms disrupted flights over the weekend all across the country.
Yeah.
All right. The Ron DeSantis presidential campaign is getting a little leaner. That's what one bundler said Saturday after Governor DeSantis told supporters he cut some staff members. There's no word on just how many people were let go, but campaign officials say it was less than 10. A campaign spokesman says defeating Joe Biden will require a nimble and candidate-driven campaign, and we're building a movement to go the distance. The RealClearPolitics.com average, however, has Donald Trump leading DeSantis by more than 32 points. Meanwhile, CNN announced yesterday that DeSantis will do an interview tomorrow with Jake Tapper.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
No, that's interesting.
I know, isn't it?
Going to have to. That's so funny because I just heard some Republican pundit basically say that they don't understand why any Republican would go on CNN. And I'm like, well, to get moderates, dummy. That's exactly what they would do. Those moderate lefts that could possibly be flipped with some legislation, some sideways legislation, they definitely would go on there. I think it'd be foolish not to. And by the way, he's getting out earned right now, too. I think Trump pulled more money from him in the first quarter than DeSantis, which is a flip because beforehand. And now what I hear about DeSantis is a lot of the large donors are starting to kind of get a little wary of whether or not he has what it takes to go the entire way.
Including Murdoch.
Yes.
Now, Donald Trump is the overwhelming preference of Republicans at a recent event in Palm Beach County. The Turning Point Action Conference was held this weekend in West Palm Beach, and a straw poll was conducted to determine the top choice for the Republican nominee for president. The Washington Examiner reports Trump got almost 86% of the vote. Businessman Perry Johnson came in second with almost 8%, and Governor Ron DeSantis came in third with just over 4%. Trump and Johnson both spoke at the event, but DeSantis did not.
Perry Johnson, get out of here. PJ. What a joke.
All right.
Perry Johnson's got no chance, and he outstraw pulled DeSantis get out of here. That's so stupid.
The city of Orlando may extend a law banning new nightclubs from opening downtown.
What?
The city council is meeting today for the first reading of a proposal to extend a moratorium on new nightclubs. The moratorium that passed 4 months ago is due to end in September, but the extension would push that back to March 2024. Orlando Hospitality Alliance VP Monica McCown isn't surprised. She says as soon as the moratorium got announced, they knew it would be extended for another year. She also tells Wesh 2 News that they will not fight the moratorium's extension.
Do you want Footloose too?
Yeah,
this is how you get Footloose too.
Exactly.
You can't ban
Hey,
whatever.
Listen, Bacon's still active too. He's still got it.
Couple of health notes. Researchers with the University of Central Florida are discovering new dangers to vaping.
Oh, God.
Dr. Claudia Andel, who
Pay
conducted
attention.
a recent study for the university, says there are a lot of short-term effects for e-cigarette users. She says chemicals and additives in vapes directly impact mouth and lung health. This can cause tooth loss, gum disease, and increase the chance for cancer.
Oh, buddy.
The study shows 25% of high schoolers smoke or vape. Andel is urging teenagers, and their caregivers to take the side effects more seriously. My only thing with teenagers and vaping is that I know you can get cartridges at varying strengths of nicotine, but I've heard it said that they have a lot more nicotine than your cigarettes. So when you're trying to quit smoking, vaping may not be the best way to go because it may end up making you crave nicotine more.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Ross's has that.
I hope they make pods into IVs.
A South Florida county gets the dubious distinction of having the highest Alzheimer's disease rate in the country. Data published by the Alzheimer's Association shows the highest prevalence of the disease at the county level is in Miami-Dade County.
Wow.
Followed by Baltimore City in Maryland and Bronx County in New York.
Wow.
States with the highest Alzheimer's disease rates are Maryland, followed by New York, Mississippi, Florida, and Louisiana. Authors of the study say the state and county-specific estimates could help public health officials develop regional strategies for caring for people with neurodegenerative disorders.
Yeah, they have a drug that was just released last
Yep,
week
first
that
one.
is built to slow the progress of Alzheimer's, but you can bet your ass that it is going to get better and better soon because with AI, they're able to go through those trials way faster.
I wonder if they determine the hot spots based per capita on overall population, or is it just like the 50 and up or 60 and up crowd? Because South Florida, Miami, you have a lot more seniors there.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, it has to be because of the amount of people over the retirement age in
Right.
South Florida.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be because they still can't tell you what causes Alzheimer's. So it's not like they're saying there's something in the water in Miami-Dade County.
What about
it's in the cocaine?
but the Maryland thing, though? I mean, that wouldn't really apply there, though, would it?
Sometimes I think it's just like, well, someone's got to be last.
Speaking of last, you definitely want to be last on the roads because Florida drivers can expect to see more police on the roadways this week. Law enforcement agencies across 5 southeastern states, including the Florida Highway Patrol, launched Operation Southern Slowdown earlier today. It's a week-long effort to crack down on speeding and aggressive driving along interstates. FHP says speeding contributed to more than 10% of deadly crashes in Florida last year. The initiative is also taking place in Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee through Saturday.
What do they have in common? It's weird.
People coming from Florida.
My God, man. It's just the Southeast in general has always had that speed trap mentality.
Oh, yeah.
Like all those states. I mean, Georgia is the nation's speed trap.
I lived it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
right.
90 minutes in Georgia, saw 15 different the state troopers.
Oh, cops everywhere.
That is crazy. All right. A trial is getting underway today in Miami for a Southwest Florida family accused of selling a toxic bleach substance they claimed could cure COVID, AIDS, Alzheimer's, and other diseases.
Yeah.
Federal prosecutors say the Grennan family sent what they called miracle mineral solution through the mail from their Bradenton home.
It rhymed.
Which also was the head of their Genesis 2 Church of Healing.
Yeah, they didn't tell you that the miracle is it takes the crust off your shower head. That's the real miracle.
I'll take some.
Genesis 2 Church of Health and Healing, rather. Jonathan and Jordan Grennan were arrested in Bradenton in 2020 after the federal government raided their home. Their father, Mark, and another brother, Joseph, were arrested in Colombia.
Yeah. We're not going to listen to these scientists, but these preachers with bleach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they have our best. I think they have our best interests at heart.
It's just
Get
like
the- oh my God, get the.
You know when you go to a restaurant and there's like too many things being offered on the menu?
Yeah.
That's what's pulling on my heart here.
Right.
We fix AIDS. You got ankle swelling? We got that.
Right. It's the old days. The old days of the elixir. Like when they would ride, they'd ride in town with all their snake oils
oil.
and say, "What's your malady? We got it."
It's the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Yes, I was just thinking of that.
I'll take item 104.
That item, I mean, that menu is what, 40 pages long? All right, the wait is over for soccer fans as Lionel Messi is finally in Miami. Inter Miami introduced the Argentinian star yesterday at a sold-out Drive Pink Stadium event.
All 1,200 of them.
Rain delayed the unveiling event for 2 hours, but co-owner Jorge Mas looked on the bright side and called the rain holy water.
Okay.
Fans didn't seem to mind the wait if it meant getting a glimpse.
That is a great spin,
isn't it?
Come on, man. That is a world-class spin.
Well, fans,
even God wants him here.
Fans didn't seem to mind the wait if it meant getting a glimpse of a player that some think is the best ever. One fan tells Local 10 News in Miami it's almost like a dream to see Messi just 20 minutes from his house. Messi told the 20,000 or so fans he's grateful for their love and he's very excited and happy to be here. The 36-year-old is expected to make his debut Friday.
And it's weird because Ross is right when he talks about the world. And you think that guy has the popularity of a major religious figure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a major, like, Pope kind of level famous.
Well, the co-owner did say it was holy water.
And what's also, like, he has no smudge on his career.
Yeah,
there was no scandal.
He's not pretentious.
He is quiet, and all he does is produce great football.
And win.
Little item for you, Jimmy.
All right. Okay.
The New York Public Library is finding its own way to celebrate 50 years of hip-hop.
Okay.
Readers can visit any library branch throughout the 5 boroughs to get a limited edition library card while supplies last. The celebratory card features artwork from the soundtrack cassettes of the iconic 1983 film Wild Style. The library is also set to hold a hip-hop party at the Stephen A. Schwartzman Building on Saturday, August 5th.
Very cool. I'll still clear the party, though, but I'll take the card. Those parties can disintegrate quickly. I'm going to be cool there.
This next story makes you wonder why, but an Ohio plastic surgeon's medical license has been permanently revoked after she live-streamed surgeries on TikTok. The Ohio Medical Board voted this week to ban Dr. Catherine Graw for what it calls ignoring basic patient care. The board said Graw spoke into the camera and actually answered viewers' questions instead of focusing
she had a chat going.
on her patients.
She had a chat going.
And not only that, officials say 3 patients suffered severe complications after the former surgeon operated
really?
on them.
I also heard that she gave them discounts for allowing this. That's true.
I
that
believe
she gave discounts for the stream. Like, hey, man, if you let me stream this, I'll cut you a deal kind of thing.
Well, she's not going to be cutting any more of those deals anymore. And then
that's what you want, proof for the malpractice law.
there you go. Absolutely.
Let's get this on the record.
She treated me very nice.
And then
as I can't smile.
Do not forget to stop and get your tickets tonight because lottery fever may be setting in as a pair of huge jackpots continue to roll. The top prize for tonight's Powerball drawing is now estimated $900 million after no one matched all 6 numbers in Saturday's drawing. The Mega Millions jackpot will be worth at least $640 million when the numbers are drawn Tuesday.
That's funny. I thought for some reason, I thought the Mega Millions was the one drawn on Monday because they just did the drawing on Saturday.
No, Mega Millions, I think Friday, Tuesday.
Isn't?
And then Powerball, I think it's now 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Oh, they added one.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, those greedy bastards. Hey, out of here, man.
For what it's worth, scratch-offs are instant.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And now you all are officially woke.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. I'll tell you that author I love to stop and watch anytime there's a movie based on this guy's book, and I'll tell you exactly which one I watched, and I'll see if you guys are fans as well. That's next.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends. Real Music music weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro. Hot and humid is the weather story again today. Forecast highs will be nearing the low 90s. But by this afternoon, mainly after 1 o'clock, we are going to be monitoring a rise in shower and thunderstorm activity at 60% coverage. You can expect heavy rain, frequent lightning, as well as gusty winds at times. Stay weather aware and have a great rest of your day. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex is a top 10 TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice winner year after year. And here's why. Because this place is awesome. You love all the cool stuff you see on TV when it comes to the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, but when you see that stuff live, it is a whole different machine. The Atlantis display, simply amazing. And yeah, you can check out those rocket launches right up close. And yeah, you can come see the spacecraft that are blazing the trail for tomorrow's discoveries. It's all right there. Not only can you see it, you can touch it and feel it and play with it. It's interactive. That's what's so killer about this park. Everything's interactive. And right now, even better, a new 2-day ticket offer costing less than $45 per day, but giving you maximum flexibility for the entire family. Try it today. Learn more and grab your tickets at KennedySpaceCenter.com.
When it comes to $1 small Slurpee drinks at 7-Eleven, no one's doing it like you. You're inventing new flavor combos, throwing caution to the wind. You're a frozen fizz whiz, a pina colada prodigy. You mix cherry and blue raspberry like a pro. Only you know the perfect ratio. Just when they think you're done, you add a splash of summertime citrus, just because you can. And because your small Slurpee drink masterpiece is just $1 at 7-Eleven. Slurpee, anything flows. Expires 12/31/2023, plus tax. Visit store for details.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
People are winning every single day. Regular people are winning every day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
It's just a fun atmosphere. The pool, the spa, the gaming, the food, the shopping. I came one night, hit the double downs, had a couple of good runs, and won about $300,000.
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire the largest injury firm in the world for your injury case? Let me count the ways. Your case will be handled by your lawyer, a paralegal, and a case manager who's always in the office for you when your lawyer's in court. There's also a 24-hour hotline if you ever have a question or a problem. We've collected over $15 billion and won a lot. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. Lots of people hired us. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
That huge data breach from a few weeks ago has probably moved off your radar, but your information could still be on the dark web. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious activity, like someone using your info. If there's a problem, LifeLock's U.S.-based identity restoration specialists will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but LifeLock will help protect your identity long after this breach is forgotten. Save up to 25% your first year. Use promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Being careful these days with your budget doesn't mean you have to settle for inferior quality jewelry at a mall store.
If you're used to shopping in malls and never been into an IDC before, I want to personally invite you in.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire.
We've got something for everybody. It doesn't matter your budget. It doesn't matter if you need financing. We'll make it happen.
As a manufacturing jeweler, IDC is able to cut out the middleman.
Our diamond bracelets, we buy the bracelet, we buy the diamonds, we assemble it. Our diamond bands, we buy the mounting, we buy the diamonds, we assemble it. So you're cutting out all that 40% that's in the middle for these manufacturers.
And that's for superior quality jewelry with free service for life.
When you come into IDC, you're going to get better quality for less, period.
International Diamond Center.
The one thing I'll guarantee you is you will make a big financial mistake if you don't shop IDC.
4 Orlando locations, or visit us online at shopidc.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
How many of you actually have been to the library recently? I swear, it is a mecca of silence. It is a place to relax. I buy books at the Book Friends in Castleberry. Great prices. They have records. They have magazines. It's a fascinating place. But how many people actually go to the library? You don't need a card just to go and buy.
That's called a talkback, by the way. You're welcome to leave one.
It's also called a public service announcement for the public library system.
Yeah, it is. Go to the iHeartRadio app. Download that. It's free. You should. And it's nobody bothers you. It's not like nobody's running a scam. It's just a great service our company provides. Find Real Radio once you get it, and then use that little microphone to send your comments on down the line.
And follow Real Radio. You bring it up, and then anytime you open the app, if you look at your stations, Real Radio will be right there. It's so much easier to just be able to listen. And now through, I think, the first week of August, you'll have a chance to win $5,000 when you listen.
Cannot beat that for sure. All right, welcome back. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. I just got a compliment on the texting service. I think they meant it as a slam, but somebody just called me super nerdy on the texting service. I have to tell you, I've never been called a nerd my entire life.
Over what?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of happy about it, though.
Oh, that's pretty nerdy of you.
Yeah, but I mean...
to not know what you're a nerd about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, are there different kind of nerds?
I would think if anyone on the show is a nerd, it would be me.
Yeah,
I went to a butterfly release party.
Yeah, it's pretty nerdy.
Yeah, hello.
If Ross wasn't a stand-up, he'd be pretty nerdy.
There is a brand, a ton of different types of nerds.
That's what I'm saying. Is I think it used to be one thing, but now nerd doesn't really mean just like computer or a gamer kind of guy or whatever, or like smart.
Yeah. A nerd really blew up with the explosion of Marvel films because those had not all nerds enjoyed those movies, or not only nerds enjoyed that movie, but all nerds enjoyed that movie.
Right.
Those movies, and then I think it kind of got a little mainstream. Listen, if you have acne, your shirt is filled with dandruff. You have cargo pants; they are camo. 5 days in a row. Are those Air Monarchs all black? Then you're like that zenith nerd to me. But if you are like, I know cute girls, like really attractive women, and like, oh my god, I'm so nerdy. It's like you have a 6-pack.
Yeah. Nerds can't have that, right? I mean,
it's just a different type of nerd.
Right. I would say the Harry Potter probably had a Harry Potter thing. Probably had some nerds too, right?
Book nerds,
Star Wars nerds.
Yeah, and like even then, it's weird calling people Star Wars nerds because there are people who are like blown away. They read all the books. They know every possible storyline that could have happened.
Right.
But to me, still, what a nerd is, I'm talking Warhammer. I'm talking Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
If you ain't rolling dice for fun and it's not gambling, then I can't call you a full-blown stage 5 nerd.
Well, I'll take it back then. I mean, maybe he just doesn't know what he's talking about, which is weird. Most of the people in Texas are on point.
They never fail.
Yeah, they never fail.
That's my definition of nerd.
Yeah,
you
these
know,
guys,
it's a subjective thing now.
Yeah, the assessment from these people is almost spot on every single time.
Oh, you know it.
All right, 407-916-1041. How many of you guys are crazy about John Grisham movies?
Oh.
Nailed it, Jack.
Yeah, The Firm is one. I think that might have been the first one. But I read that book, couldn't wait for the movie, and loved the movie.
It's the only series of movies that every single one of them, I read the book before I saw the movie.
I was just about to ask you that.
It's the only one. The Pelican Brief, The Firm, The Rainmaker is the one I got stuck on last night. And that's the one with Matt Damon as the attorney against John Voight, which is one of his best performances, by the way. And he's a great actor.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Well, he got blackballed from Hollywood for being Republican, but man, he is really good in the movie. And the funny thing is about these Grisham movies, you look at it, the biggest stars in the world at the time were in this guy's movies. I mean, for about 5-8 years, this guy had a pistol grip on Hollywood. Everything they turned out that this guy wrote was a massive hit. A massive hit. Pelican Brief, Denzel, and Julia Roberts. The Firm, Tom Cruise. Rainmaker, Matt Damon, John Voight. John Voight won an Oscar, I think, for The Midnight Cowboy. I believe he did.
I thought was it The Champ? No, or
Was it
Midnight.
The Champ?
It might have been Midnight Cowboy.
It may have been that. Yeah. Just as him being a yokel coming into L.A. or whatever. Very, very good. But man, I started watching. I saw. I got it right in the beginning. I was like, I'll just put this on as background noise.
Oh,
man! Next thing you know, my laptop was on the side. My wife and I were both tuned in. We loved it.
There you go.
Christmas with the Cranks.
What?
I don't know. I'm looking at John Grisham movies on IMDb.
Did he write Christmas with the Cranks? No way.
What a plot twist.
But I mean, he had those.
What?
He had that series of legal movies. They were always based in the South. Well, the other one with The Firm. Who else was in there? The guy, Diabetes.
Oh, yeah. Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, he was in there as a bad guy, which was kind of weird. Yeah, damn good movies, man.
And books.
Yeah, and books. You're right. And they followed the books pretty closely as well. They didn't veer from it much. And I remember the directors, I mean, I don't think it was the same director every time, but they would say that the text was so good, there really wasn't a lot to improvise there.
Yeah,
The Firm is such a good movie, dude.
I feel embarrassed to say this because I really enjoy movies, but
you've not seen any of those?
I think outside of Christmas with the Cranks.
Wow, dude, I'm telling you, The Firm and The Pelican Brief are both dead solid legal dramas that you will absolutely love. You can't miss. And I would have to tell you, the toss-up between The Pelican Brief and The Firm for me is it's almost 50-50. I didn't think The Firm could be beat. And then I saw The Pelican Brief, I was like, damn. This is a good-ass movie.
Well, you've got the next chapter of The Firm arrives October 17th, 2023.
Wow, really?
So if you're a John Grisham fan, you just have to wait till October to be able to get on that next chapter.
Okay, so I'm not lying when I keep bringing up Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah, you keep bringing it up.
And I find it hilarious. He wrote a novel called Skipping Christmas, which is basically the movie Christmas with the Cranks.
That's
the
funny.
2004 Christmas comedy with Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Damn.
And I would like to say one of his books stick out. It's definitely the Christmas rom-com that he has among all of his crime thrillers.
All of his legal drama crime thrillers. It's funny. I wonder if the publisher, because with the old record contracts, the old record companies, if you talk to or hear any interviews with the artists, they would have to record a Spanish version of their record, possibly 2 languages. They would have to record, and they would mandatory have to do a Christmas album. So if you ever wondered, why in the hell would Garth Brooks, or why in the hell, and you see these artists, why would they do a Christmas record? Well, it was mandatory because the companies would tell them, hey, look, if we sign this deal with you, you have to do this Christmas album. All right, 407-916-1041. You can text us at 77031.
John Voight got his Oscar for playing a paraplegic Vietnam veteran in Coming Home in 1978.
Yeah, I thought, was he nominated for?
He's got other awards, Golden Globes nominations for movies from Midnight Cowboy all the way up until The Champ.
Yeah.
And beyond.
A monster actor. The guy is incredibly good. All right, we have a very interesting interview coming up Dr. Patricia Brown is going to join us from CNS Healthcare, and you've heard the spots. Angel's been doing them. These are the guys that are doing the microdosing, right? So we've been talking about that. It's been in the news quite a bit. And my wife and I actually got into a conversation with a friend of ours just a couple days ago about the microdosing thing and how bizarre it is that, these drugs went from being the scourge of the earth in the 60s, FBI and CIA investigating it, and now they're using microdosing of these mushrooms to cure things like depression and other issues.
And anxiety. I suffer from both depression and anxiety, and unfortunately the only medication available for anxiety is Xanax and Valium.
Right, yeah.
Well, okay, great. I'm not anxious anymore because I'm sleeping.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
Just get rid of the anxiety. Don't make me want to sleep my life away.
That's one way to fix it, right? Well, you can't feel anything.
Right, exactly.
Well, Dr. Brown's up next. We'll talk to her right after this.
Your shot at $1,000 is next. Brought to you locally by Mills Air. If you want a shot at $5,000, make sure you're listening to us on our free iHeartRadio app.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traveling on I-4 this afternoon, you can expect stop-and-go traffic eastbound between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. There's slowdowns on I-4 eastbound between US 27 and after State Road 429. Watch out for congestion on I-4 westbound between World Drive and after Osceola Polk Line Road. See traffic troubles? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Are you ready to put some cash in your pocket? Because Real Radio is giving you a chance to win $1,000 by putting $1,000 in your hand. You know the deal with our national contest. We'll give you a keyword at the top of every hour from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And all you have to do is enter it on our website at realradio.fm for your chance to win. With 13 chances every weekday, you'll have plenty of opportunities to win $1,000 in your hand. But there is a catch, because there's always a catch. Right. If you get a call, you need to answer your phone. That's right. The key to winning is picking up your phone when we call. So don't send us to voicemail. This contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Storm season is here, and Duke Energy is ready. With innovative technology and new ways to reroute power to help prevent outages in all kinds of weather. We're strengthening our systems, ready to restore power quickly and safely, while keeping you informed about outages with text and email alerts. It's all part of building a smarter energy future for you. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
The podcast, The Girlfriends, tells the story of Carol and Mindy, two women who both dated a man named Bob. On paper, Bob is the total package, a successful plastic surgeon, a pilot. But Carol and Mindy discovered that Bob could also be a murderer.
I, in a joking way, say to him, well, what did you do, murder your wife? And his response was, what do you know?
Listen to The Girlfriends on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Millions of Floridians do the math, and millions of Floridians choose Amscot Cash Advance because it makes sense. Up to $500 fast with no credit check. Get started at amscot.com. Amscot. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Amscot. Just call Move. Just call Move. Just call Move. Just call Move. Injured on the go. Just call Move.
Mo DeWitt, Office, Orlando. Sung by non-attorney spokesperson.
Baby boomers and retirees, protect yourself from the coming tidal wave of higher taxes. This administration's spend and tax schemes, along with their failed economic policies, are only going to add more to the taxes already being taken of your retirement savings. You can gain retirement tax protection from national talk show wealth strategist and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution. Learn how you can get a head start to be retirement tax smart. Imagine learning proven solutions, saving thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. Retirementprotected.com.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Get Ready for College sale. Oh my, are you okay? My baby boy is going off to college.
and move-in day is almost here.
Well, right now through July 25th, you can save on everything they need for the semester. Plus, join us in-store on the 22nd and 23rd for giveaways, workshops, and more.
Did you say savings?
Yep. Come in-store or go to ikea-usa.com/ready-for-college to save on the semester. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on ikea-usa.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Fence Outlet customer Amy said,
"We had a fire on our property and needed to replace our fence quickly. We have grandchildren and pets, and we were concerned for their safety. A friend recommended Fence Outlet. We scheduled a free quote, and they had our privacy and safety restored quickly."
Visit fenceoutlet.com today. License number C10252 and C10803.
Here's a top move for hiring a divorce attorney. See how they look and handle themselves on video or audio. Chances are that's them at their best, with editing, setup, and multiple takes. The courtroom is live. Mediation is live. Make sure your divorce lawyer is going to make you look good. At Trenley Kramer Law, we handle family law and divorce. TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You can always count on a classic. It's timeless and tastefully legendary. That's the truth behind the Troppy Chop. Often imitated, too delicious to be duplicated. The sauce just won't taste the same. But to really stand out, you gotta stay fresh and move to the beat of your own bowl. The Troppy Chop, only at Pollo Tropical. A classic that never goes out of style.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware. Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. 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 That's bonus. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. Yeah. We like it when you watch. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah. Alright, the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. Bonus is your 4 o'clock keyword, BONUS. Slide over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000 bonus, guys. That is your 4 o'clock keyword. Good luck. We hope you win for sure. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is here, and so is Ross. Yeah. And you guys, how about a big round of applause for Dr. Patricia Brown from CNS Healthcare?
Woohoo! I'm excited.
Dr. Brown, how are you?
Good, very good. Thank you.
And thank you very much for spending some time with us. Of course, you're with CNS Healthcare, and you guys are specializing in the use of psychedelics and other non-traditional treatments for depression and or anxiety. This is a very controversial subject. How did you get into this world?
The psychiatric world is very aware that the current drugs that we have are very limited in the success rate. We still get about 50% of people respond to traditional antidepressants, and there's still a lot of people that suffer from anxiety unrelieved. And early diagnosis showed, or early treatment in the 50s and 70s started looking at using LSD and psilocybin to treat anxiety and depression. And there's been a reemergement both in Europe and in the United States looking at how we could successfully treat these patients.
You know, it is very interesting, though, because of the vibe that has been around these type of products for so many years. And, of course, we've been told by our very own government for years to avoid these at all costs. What do you think was the breaking point at bringing this into the forefront, using drugs that used to be considered illicit drugs from almost any police department or law enforcement agency into the medical realm where it could be studied and possibly used as as an answer for a lot of people that don't have any?
Well, I definitely think that the cause of getting the illicit reputation was the overuse of them in the 60s for recreational use, and some bad outcomes occurred. I think there's a better recognition that there's a need for psychoactive medication to be studied and looked at, and we've got to start treating mental health. And if these substances used correctly and can show in good clinical trials to be successful, then we should use them.
Dr. Patricia Brown is here with us from CNS Healthcare. Ross, question?
Dr. Brown, this is a great conversation to have on this Monday. I'll be the first one to say that I have taken psilocybin before. I have eaten mushrooms, and I have experienced what they are capable of doing. But one thing that I've always been worried about when psilocybin and these mushrooms start getting introduced medicinally is how do you gauge the dose? Because that's my recommendation when anybody is interested in that, is that it depends on how much you eat. In your eyes, how do you gauge that?
Well, there's been some preliminary studies done, but you might have heard the word microdosing. They regulate the dosing into smaller amounts than what might have been used recreationally. And there's several studies going on using different milligrams of the dosing to see what creates the best effect safely.
Dr. Brown, I wanted to ask, because just today I, prepping for the show, found an article that talked about how the pandemic really kind of exposed America's inability to get its hands around the mental health issue, and it only, of course, got worse. What have you seen personally in your practice with the end of the pandemic and how it relates to mental health crises here in Central Florida?
Well, definitely in the literature, it's talked about how depression and anxiety has skyrocketed during and post-COVID. What I'm seeing personally in practice is a lot more people feeling isolated, lonely, and having trouble reconnecting to their previous lives.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Dr. Brown, so on the psychedelic, microdosing, when a lot of people listening might be familiar with recreational illegal use and kind of have an idea on that effect, what does someone receiving this as a treatment in a microdose situation, what is the feeling? Are there side effects, or is it just the idea to get that relief of anxiety without any other awareness that you are under the influence of a drug?
Yeah, like no tripping.
Yeah.
No tripping.
Basically.
There's so much that we're aware of, both set and setting. So we spend time preparing the patient for what areas might come up during a medication or dosing day, as we call it. So we look at issues that they may have, we'll explore and get them to be open to taking a look at them. The setting is if you walk in, it looks like a living room. and it's got music, and we do, covering eyes, and to create a setting that's productive to looking at whatever their intent is.
You got video games?
No video games. It's all looking at internally what might be an issue.
Yeah, Dr. Brown, I see that there's a Prince Harry reference here in the paperwork. One of the things that is very interesting, especially now in the presence of social media, it's so impactful when celebrities get involved with something, any product almost anywhere. I mean, what are you guys looking to spread the word about this microdosing outside of just normal traditional advertising? Are you guys looking for a celebrity partner or a spokesperson that could really kind of break that seal to people that maybe this is worth trying if they're really suffering?
I think what we want to get out is that there are non-traditional psychiatric avenues, and that we're providing some of the initial data, the clinical trials, to let people try different things that they have been unsuccessful in the traditional world. And these trials have shown some preliminary positive notes to the psychiatric community. So if people have not responded to traditional medicine, this is an alternative for them.
Dr. Brown, I was wondering, what is your experience, if any at all, with psilocybin and LSD yourself?
Well, the pharmaceutical companies are not really interested in they really want the patient's effect, and some of the studies limit how much prior exposure they can have, and some of them it will allow a certain amount of prior exposure. It's much more the issue about their current treatment that they need.
So, Dr. Brown, CNS Healthcare is looking for candidates for these trials. What is that ideal candidate? Who are the people you are looking for to take part in this study?
Well, we have a couple going on, several going on. So one of them, I'm looking for treatment-resistant patients. So they've tried traditional medications and been unsuccessful, and willing to try psilocybin as a treatment. And it provides both psychiatric, psychotherapeutic support as well as the psilocybin. We also have the LSD studies going on, which looks at anxiety, patients that have not found traditional medications to be helpful there.
Wow, that's interesting. Patricia Brown with us. She's a doctor with CNS Healthcare. Of course, they specialize in doing these things. And I did want to ask you this. It's interesting with the medical field. We kind of mock what was recommended, medically back in the day. It was famously doctors endorsed cigarettes years ago, and we've seen medicine, kind of grow as the research became more and more focused. And my question is when you talk to the major medical field, like the entire industry, are these type of studies mocked by traditional medicine and traditional hospitals, or are they kind of sitting on the side waiting to see how it works out for you before they kind of dive in because it's such a controversial subject?
Oh, no. In the United States in particular, we're moving into the forefront. It's accepted. Current clinical trials are very much accepted by the National Institute of Health. The New York England Journal is starting to write about them. It's well in the forefront of let's see what these clinical trials can do. So I think we've come past the stigma.
Yeah, that's great. Because one of the things when you hear about this stuff, even as here on the station when we first heard the ads, we're like, oh wow, man, because it's so different, and to hear products like this being mentioned just openly, it's almost like the marijuana thing. Just 10 years ago here in Florida, you had marijuana, you were going to jail, and of course now there are stores like 7-Elevens where you can go get it. And obviously we have progressed pretty quickly. And my number one thing with this is, man, I wonder if the traditional medical infrastructure is going to kind of shut this down, because how it will encroach on other like therapies they're working on, because obviously if this turns into a mainstream thing, it's going to affect business across that entire platform, right?
Yeah, And the Federal Drug Administration has worked with us to secure the medicine. And, of course, there's huge oversight. There's huge safety mechanisms that we have to adhere to. But I can't tell you that there's been any regulatory body that's been totally against this.
That's good news.
Well, Doctor, listen, I can't thank you enough for your time. By the way, if you want to be a part of that, go to cnshealthcare.com. That's cnshealthcare.com. You can call them at 407-425-5100. Like Jack said, they are looking for volunteers. I think they're doing that up until the end of August, so you have time to get in there. Anything else you want to add, Doctor, before we get out of here?
No, thank you very much.
All right, we appreciate it. You guys give it up for Dr. Brown.
Hey!
Have yourself a good week, and I'm sure we'll hear from you again soon, man. That's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this a couple of years ago when they were bringing it up, and of course, you make all the stereotypical jokes about tripping balls and going to the doctor to get blasted. But this technology and theories have been around for years. Like you said, since the 70s, 60s, and 50s, they've been working with this, outside of the recreational world, trying to figure out how these powerful drugs could be, utilized or harnessed to create better lives for people who don't have an opportunity to have that with our traditional medication.
But I think it was the classification of these as the type of drugs in the early 70s that prevented medical research on them.
Yeah, because the feds wouldn't even allow it.
Right, and so I think there was a 30-year waiting period that there was no advancement medically because they weren't allowed. And then when they were able to achieve that status, then you started seeing, the studies and the growth. And they've been talking about microdosing and doing these in control studies for years now. So it's just advancing to a point where there's more treatment because
less red tape.
Yeah, and when you are trying to find that right medicine for someone who needs it, that waiting game, you could go a year, 2 years of adjusting all these different types of medicine, trying to find the right one. So to have more options out there and available, I'm on board.
That aren't pharmaceuticals as well.
Yeah. And by the way, I know you're right there because I lived that when my wife went to create her hormone replacement therapies. We were at a compounding pharmacy theoretically every month for about 18 months, and my wife was losing her mind. I mean, I'm not telling you this. There is no if, and, or but. My wife was losing her mind over this, and it took us 18 months that woman had to suffer until we found the right combination. So I know that is 100% the truth.
And when it comes to hallucinogenics, this might help you out. I know two people, there's, I know a veteran, a literal veteran who defends and swears by what hallucinogenics has helped him out with.
Yeah.
I also have another friend who's like, I peed my pants and
All right.
cried.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in 1 sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
You can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Seeing some heavy traffic westbound on I-4 this afternoon between the Beach Line and 535 and between the Greenway and the 429 as well. Looking at a good ride for those taking the Turnpike north or southbound this afternoon. Traffic is up to speed as well on the Beach Line as well as on the Greenway. If you see problems on the roadways today, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Man, let me tell you something. If you need a new bathroom, that can be daunting. You could walk by that bathroom every day and just curse it a little bit because you know what that represents. You know when you stick your toe in that pond, there is no coming out until it's done. But the thing is just getting started. Let me help you out a little bit because if you've really toiled with this for a while, I can help that decision get real easy. Rebath in Mid-Florida is all you need. Once you hire these guys, you're done. You don't have to find an electrician or a plumber. You don't have to go out and buy the tubs or the sinks or any of that stuff. You leave it up to the pros at Rebath to come up with the designs that you're going to love. And here's the great thing. They take everything in your home into consideration, the styles that you have elsewhere. Then they can consider some things that really complement the rest of your house. That's what makes them so good. And the products they have are unbelievable. unbelievable, including like natural stone, travertine, and marble. They have all those beautiful colors for you. All their bathrooms have no grout lines. That's another big plus. That means nothing to scrub, nothing to get dirty or moldy, and they're beautiful, by the way. They handle everything, the toilets and the tubs and the sinks and the lighting and the tile work. It's all right there, and they give you great installs as well. They do all this in just 4 to 6 days. They do it with their employees. That means no subcontractors, and even better, a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. And the products you can see and feel every day. Their showroom is easy to find. 436 right up there in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Pop in there, check out what they have, think, oh, well, that will look good in my house, and then get with their design team. And if you need to get an idea what that looks like, just go to the website, rebathmidfla.com. That way you can see the before and afters and then book your appointment. Again, it's rebathmidfla.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
If you're a pro painter, do you know how much you're paying per gallon for paint? Paint stores try to convince you that you're getting a good deal with deep discounts. But what they don't tell you is their starting price is too high to begin with. If you buy paint from the Home Depot, you're getting the lowest price per gallon on Behr paint, guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Plus, pros earn discounts through our Pro Extra Paint Rewards program. That's the value of the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only. See store for details.
This is Steve Kramer. Let me tell you a business secret. There are sketch companies out there selling awards. Make sure the awards earned by your lawyer are from respected organizations. At Trenley Kramer Law, our lawyers have been recognized by Orlando Magazine Best Lawyers, Florida Trend Legal Elite, Super Lawyers, and listed in U.S. News as a best law firm for years. We've earned the awards that can't be bought. Trenley Kramer, TK Law, one firm for life.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-741-8026. 800-741-8026. That's 800-741-8026.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Running a small business takes grit and determination and a communications provider that's got your back. That's Spectrum Business. Fast, reliable communication solutions that keep your business going. Get 300 megabits per second internet, just $49.99 a month when bundled with Spectrum Business Connect, the all-in-one phone system that lets you work from anywhere on any device. And get a free mobile line for a year. Visit spectrum.com/go faster. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Wendy's has home-style French toast sticks, the honey butter chicken biscuit, or maple bacon chicken croissant. Now that's sweet. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's breakfast.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Get what you really want, like a tasty Baconator or fries and a Frosty. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. See you later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
These days, more often than not, the success of a company is attributed to its founder. But that's only part of the story. My name is Noah Callahan Bever, and I'm proud to present Idea Generation's All Angles, a Will Packer Media podcast. We'll be talking to all the key players from all your favorite brands, like Loud Records, Ghetto Gastro, and Earn Your Leisure. So join me each week as we dissect the most dynamic companies in culture, because the only way to truly understand success is to look at it from all angles. Listen to Idea Generation's All Angles on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you suffered an injury at a place of business, dial #wall. That's all. Morgan & Morgan.
Radio.
return to the Jim Colbert Show, already in progress.
What do you need?
You need Kool-Aid.
Oh, thanks, man. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is... Hi. And Ross.
Oh, yeah.
Bonus is your 4 o'clock keyword. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Bonus, guys. That is your keyword. Good luck. This guy hates us because he's been gone for like a month now.
I know. He never comes
This
by
guy,
anymore.
never comes by. We never get to see him. He's such a big timer, spending his time out in Vegas, just figuring out what he's going to do the rest of his life. So many options, so many possibilities. You guys give it up good and loud for our buddy Brandon Kravitz from 96.9 The Game. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
This is where we talk sports with you, even though you're a few feet away from us. You have to zoom in because you went out there and got something crazy.
Now, I'll tell you what, people will hop on an airplane with just about anything.
Oh, they don't care. They just know where they got to get.
I got scurvy on Delta.
Thankfully, I still feel like I can come into the building and sort of quarantine myself. And still provide the sort of audio experience that the listeners have come to appreciate. From my afternoon show.
I can.
But sitting in the studio with you guys didn't feel like the right move today. So through the art of technology, we are feet away and zooming together.
Well, first things first, let's start off with a few minutes about your Vegas trip. You were out there for business, were you not?
Yes. So I do freelance work with rotowire.com. It's a popular fantasy site. They cover football, basketball, really every sport. I do a daily fantasy podcast for them called Fantasy Bites. And so they invited me out there to be part of the festivities. They've been purchased by a big conglomerate called gambling.com. And so it was a big merger sort of event for them as the higher ups on both sides got to know each other. I didn't have anything to do with that. I was just there to mingle, social network. I got a couple of free meals out of it and stayed at the beautiful Circa Sportsbook Hotel, which is an absolute must for a sports fan out there.
Really?
The sportsbook inside of the hotel, it's like a giant movie screen. It's probably double the size of a movie screen with 20 different games going on at once. And this was in July. I can't even imagine what this scene is like in football season. I heard you have to take reservations because you sit movie theater style. You can walk down to the front, get a ticket for whatever you want to bet on, go back up to a seat, sit back, recline, and watch it all unfold in front of you. Everybody's reacting to something different because everybody's got their own interests. And then if you want to brave the outdoors, it was 105, by the way, while I was in Vegas.
It's a cool day.
The pool scene is even cooler than it is inside.
Yeah, they have a giant, almost like a drive-in screen out there with all the action happening while you're in the pool.
It's called Stadium Swim. They have 3 levels of pools overlooking the same sort of giant screen that I just described from indoors. So you can sit in the water and just watch all the sports unfold in front of you. It's a dream come true.
It's like
really, the pictures don't do it justice. It was a phenomenal experience, and I hope to get out there again and do it again next year.
It looks like you died and went to bro heaven. That's exactly
kind of what
it
is.
It looks like bro heaven.
It sounds like you should show up married because you're not going to pick up any chicks there.
No.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. So I take all of these photos, and I was sending a bunch to my wife, and I mean, I'm not going out of my way to photograph other women, but I am photographing this scene in general, and so somebody might pop up in a photo, and she goes, "Where are the girls?"
No, it's not that kind of party, ma'am. Sorry.
I mean, they're out there, but yeah, this is definitely dude central.
Well,
for
buddy,
sure.
let's get to it because I actually have not been keeping up on what's happening out there. This is the dregs of summer sports, so I haven't really paid attention. Baseball isn't exciting yet, and I know that football, the Hall of Fame game is just like next week or 10 days away or something. But what's out there? What's happening right now?
Yeah, well, right now we wrapped up NBA Summer League. We've got Major League Baseball. The All-Star game just passed. MLS action is going to hit a hard pause, too, as if we needed even more of a sports break. We've got the British Open coming up this weekend and Wimbledon from this past weekend.
My
So
God.
this is the time of year. I tell you guys this every year. This is the time when I'm able to sit back and relax a little bit more, maybe spend a little bit more time with the family than I do in the fall and the spring. But really, more than anything else, it's a time to expand the sports palette because I can get very in the weeds when it comes to all things NBA, NFL, college football, Major League Baseball in the postseason. And this sort of allows you the opportunity to step away, prepare for those things because it's going to come here before you know it. But there's a lot of other stuff that's going on.
Yeah, there was actually a major upset at Wimbledon this year. Djokovic lost, and he lost in.
No.
What?
Not an upset.
No.
Djokovic was going to lose that because Alcaraz, who was the number 1 seed,
I understand that, but man, with
is
that
here to stay.
With that experience going in, man, like I was talking to Larry, our news guy out there, who's a massive tennis fan, watches tennis all the time. I has it on the TV out there, and he didn't. He's like, "Who's going to beat this guy?" And I'm like, "Looks like he's just cruising through and no problem." Then I read he gets wiped out in 5 sets, and then lashes his racket out, and I was like, I didn't think this guy was beatable.
Yeah, well, it was an upset. So if we're just going to go by the Vegas line, Djokovic was a favorite by the tune of -190. So it's a slightly significant favorite, but it's not crazy. It's not like Alcaraz was like some wild underdog that nobody ever saw coming. The only reason why he was favored the way that he was is because he's won the last 4 Wimbledons. He is the GOAT.
Right,
he is the Tom Brady of tennis. And he's still in his prime. He's on the back end of his prime, but he's still in his prime, going up against what is supposed to be the best young up-and-comer in the sport. So this wasn't a guy that came from nowhere. He's just not supposed to be doing this yet, but he is supposed to do this. At 20 years old, to win Wimbledon against a guy that's won the last 4, who is arguably the greatest male tennis player of all time, it is truly impressive. But to call it a massive upset, I don't think is accurate. It is an upset, and it's the dawning of a new era. It was a passing of the torch kind of a moment. And I'm not the biggest tennis fan in the world, but you give me any sort of big fight feel where you've got the best in their game going up against each other, especially if it's from 2 different eras. I just love that kind of stuff. So I ate that up on Sunday morning.
It was like reminiscent of a parking lot fight on the internet where like it started off where a couple of people were watching the diehard tennis fans. And then after that first set, when Alcaraz gets blown out, I believe, all of a sudden just like couple hours into the match, the world stopped and had to see who was going to win the Wimbledon final. It was such a cool way to spend your Sunday.
It was awesome. I'd never bet on a tennis match in my life. You guys know that I love to dabble in sports betting. I did take the dive and bet on Djokovic because I am of the belief, a simple betting philosophy for me, you bet on the GOATs until the GOATs fade away.
Yep.
And he is still at the top of his game. So just trusting in some of the people that I talk to, he's still good enough to get this thing done. So I took Djokovic. The guy won 4 times in a row until I placed an American dollar on him.
He was due to lose, buddy.
So if you're wondering what did him in,
yeah, it's your bet.
Me.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. Some action out there in the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins just signs, and I think Saquon Barkley is going. There's a big question about whether or not he'll sign with the Giants as well. So what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm hitting refresh right now because we're actually at a critical juncture in the day.
4 o'clock, right?
This is from Adam Schefter as of 30 minutes ago. No long-term deals for Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard. Those were the 3 running backs that were franchise tagged. Their deadline was 30 minutes ago to sign an extension. Sometimes these things can trickle in right past the deadline. They'll get signed, but the news doesn't come out until minutes later. But it looks like that's not going to happen. So what does that mean moving forward for Saquon Barkley and some other stars? Josh Jacobs just led the league in rushing last year, and he can't get a long-term deal. This is just the plight of the position right now. The running back position in the NFL is so undervalued because we've seen so many of these teams that have been able to make pushes towards the Super Bowl that don't need a superstar at the position to get it done. It's definitely the most injury-prone position because of the beating your body takes, the short lifespan of an NFL running back. Teams just don't want to invest a large amount of their cap into these players, even though they're tremendous to watch on the field. And in fantasy, we certainly love them above all else. Saquon Barkley, there's a good chance that he ends up holding out going into the start of the season. if he wants to make a point. But it's not like the Giants, the deadline is passed. It's not like there's any sort of extension to be had. So it would really just be making a point for point's sake. But if he sits out, he's going to cost himself a lot of money. He's probably just going to have to play on a $10 million deal, which I know nobody's going to cry themselves to sleep tonight because Saquon Barkley is going to make $10 million. But in the world of the NFL, he is vastly underpaid for how talented he is.
DeAndre Hopkins.
And DeAndre Hopkins just signed a deal with the Tennessee Titans. So he had a number of suitors. This is a guy that at 31 years old is starting to slip into washed territory. He's not quite there yet. He's definitely someone that teams around the league, if they need a second guy or they're really lacking that number one option, he was a good one to be had. You're not going to find a lot of DeAndre Hopkins sitting out there in free agency. So I think teams like the Bills were looking at him to bolster their offense. The Chiefs, why not? Kind of an embarrassment of riches situation when you have Patrick Mahomes. And I know the New England Patriots were giving him a good hard look because they need a legitimate number one guy. And he winds up going to the Tennessee Titans, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Ryan Tannehill is the definition of a middle-of-the-road quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
He is far from special. And this is a guy, if I were a wide receiver in the NFL, of course, money is playing a factor here. So I'm sure at the end of the day, it was the Titans just offered the most, and he kind of likes it there. But if money wasn't my number one issue and I knew I was going to get paid, get me to an offense where I've got Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow throwing me the football. And that way I've got a chance at a championship and I've got a chance to catch passes from one of the best in the league. DeAndre Hopkins has spent his career playing with bad quarterbacks. Kyler Murray had himself a nice run, but the guy could never stay healthy. He has played with so many suboptimal quarterbacks in his career. I just don't know why that wouldn't be his mindset. I guess it's hard to turn down the dollar figures when they're put there in front of you, but it seems like a bad decision to me.
Not the worst place to live either. So I wonder if that had anything to do with it, because those areas are beautiful, and like you're saying, if he figures, well, this is where I'm going to end it out, maybe he'll just kind of maybe considering that where he's going to be for a while. Who knows?
Yeah, I think Nashville is definitely a selling point, especially when you compare it to Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, for sure.
Perhaps there's something to that.
Let's talk a little MLS soccer. Big move last night. Obviously, Messi makes his first is announced basically as a member of Inter Miami, but
it's official.
But City played as well. What do you see out there for that?
Yeah, City gets the 2-1 win against Atlanta, only the second home loss for the Atlanta United squad this season, and now you have Orlando City sitting 5th in the East, but it's kind of a weird time in the season right now. MLS is going to pause league play for a month, Jim. A month.
Yep.
For 2023 League Cup play.
Yeah.
All part of a partnership with the Mexican League, where the two sides are going to be divided into groups, sort of like a World Cup, but for North American soccer. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I understand you're trying to kind of keep up with the Joneses when it comes to the international soccer world, but you still have to cater a little bit to the American sports fan, and this is not something that we can readily wrap our minds around. Unless it's for World Cup play, I think we can all set aside our team and league allegiances for something like that, but this just feels like a disruption to the middle of the season when you own the landscape to a degree outside of dealing with Major League Baseball.
Look, man, I think that this would play over okay if we could watch our players play for the teams that they play for in those games. Like if the NFL did this, right? And you still get to see Mahomes and all the guys play. They were just maybe playing with different people for their country or whatever, and you got to see those games. I still think there would be some interest in it because you're still watching the players do what they do best, which is play football. But in this case, a lot of those games won't be available for the American audience, will they?
They're going to be on Apple TV, from what I understand.
Yeah, they will. And both Cup games you're going to hear on FM 96.9 The Game. This Friday will be one for Orlando City, and then 8 days later they play again.
And then the MLS All-Star Game is coming up as well, right?
Oh. Yes. So that's actually 2 days from now. They're going to take on Arsenal that's in Washington, D.C. And I was shocked to find out with how well Orlando City has played this year. And Jack and Ross, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this as well. No All-Stars for Orlando City in the upcoming All-Star game. It just seems like this is an issue with this squad every single year. Even when the team is playing well, not getting stars into the All-Star game. It's like the benchmark for we've got guys. I'm surprised that a Facundo Torres or someone like that isn't in it.
It is a bummer because he absolutely deserves it. I gotta say though, when this voting was happening, he wasn't killing it. When this voting was happening, Orlando City was kind of just right above the red line and still kind of, in my opinion, lacking a really, really strong identity. And now you see it. Honestly, I think if you hold the voting now, we have stars. We're getting in. But just when they had that voting and when they capped it, I don't think Orlando City was very, we weren't grabbing a lot of headlines beating Atlanta 2-1 away, which might be the biggest win of our season thus far.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Sauce Daddy Pants. I appreciate that.
All day.
All right, got about 30 seconds. What else is out there you want to close it up with?
Let's see. Well, the U.S. Open, or not the U.S. Open, the British Open is this weekend. And I know that you will have your eyes firmly placed on that. The interesting storyline, and I get so tired of the PGA Live thing, but it did take that wild turn, what feels like months ago at this point, where they had the merger of the PGA Tour and Live, and everything's kumbaya between the two sides. This will be the first major since that happened. So what does that look like? How do the players talk about it that are involved on both sides of the equation? And then just on the golf side of things, this is the type of event, because it's international, that you expect Rory McIlroy to really excel in. He hasn't won a major since 2014, which is almost hard to believe, but he's coming off of a win at the Scottish Open. So really good timing for Rory, and I'm curious to see what the storylines are and how these players discuss the merger when we still feel like we don't have details yet, and it's kind of died on the vine.
Man, if you don't put money on McIlroy right now, I don't know who you bet on in golf. I mean, that guy is absolutely crushing it. Guy finishes birdie to win and beat a guy I talked about 4 years ago to tell you to keep your eye on. Robert McIntyre's this lefty Scott that is like this phenom athlete, like across the board, like rugby, all these sports. This guy's a crazy athlete, and he plays golf, DP Tour, I think, or mostly, but he's a monster, and he had to go birdie to beat that kid in Scotland on his own golf course, basically, and he did. Nobody is playing better than Rory right now. Nobody in the world. Nobody's driving it better. Nobody's hitting better iron shots. His game is absolutely tuned in and ready to go, and he called this 6 months ago, or 4 months ago, when he decided to drop himself as really kind of the uncrowned spokesperson for the PGA Tour against the Live stuff. He put all that pressure on himself, and he decided to kind of like, look, I'm not making any more statements on this. I'm going to focus on golf. And since that day, my man has been on a stone cold tear. He's by far.
It would be a greatly timed win for Rory, and he is the odds-on favorite going in. Never feels like a bad idea to bet on Scotty Scheffler, but Rory does feel like a worthy favorite right now.
Don't sleep on Brooks. He plays these big tournaments as well as anybody out there. He loves the pressure as much as anybody. Brandon, as always, thank you. You can hear him every day. Brandon Kravitz, 96.9 The Game, 3 to 6 doing sports. We appreciate it, buddy.
Bye, guys.
Feel better.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. I got something happening to my body, and I don't know what's going on. A little help would be nice.
Menopause.
We'll do that. It could be.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Secured Roofing and Restoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Ian Cassette with your Central Florida forecast. A few stray showers are left over this evening. Otherwise, overcast conditions will become partly cloudy overnight with a low near 76 degrees. On Tuesday, a quiet start to the day. Then, similar to the last couple of days, afternoon showers and storms will develop into the afternoon. Featuring some heavy rainfall, we could see some localized flooding. We'll see a high of 92 degrees otherwise with triple-digit heat index values. Hot weather remains for the rest of the week. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Ian Cassette.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Deciding where to bank is no small task. It's a matter of trust, confidence, and benefits. The more the merrier. At Addition Financial Credit Union, we're all about more. More challenges overcome. More financial knowledge gained. More empowering you to reach your long-term long-term financial goals. That's because we're more than just a bank. We're your financial partner, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Count us in at additionfi.com. That's additionfi.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Don't miss your chance to see Canadian new wave and synth pop band Men Without Hats as they rock the Velvet Session stage at the Hard Rock Hotel at Universal Orlando on Friday, July 28th. Come rock along to their hit songs, including The Safety Dance, Pop Goes the World, and more at Orlando's only rock and roll cocktail party. Tickets are $50 and include free specialty cocktails, finger food, and more. This is a 21 and older event. Visit velvetsessions.com now for more information and to get your tickets before they're gone.
My fellow Americans, R.C. Hill here from R.C. Hill Mitsubishi. I think it's high time we celebrate. To help you relieve stress and start having fun again. It's time to let freedom ride and break free from your old ride. And declare your independence in a nicer, newer car for just $7 down. Have you been feeling put down, fed up, or just plain tired? Then it's time to let freedom ride. So keep your cash and drive a new 23 Outlander for just $7 down. All RC Hill Mitsubishis include a lifetime limited warranty. Even if you've heard no in the past, America is a land of opportunity. And I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car today. So kick your old ride to the curb and let freedom ride for just $7 down. But hurry, this celebration ends soon. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. Get free at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
$7 down requires lease approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Example, stock number N12354. $7 down, $3.89 per month for 84 months, 3.9 APR.
That's right. It's a real mess out there, Kate. We're seeing heavy congestion on the eastbound lanes of the main expressway with traffic backed up for miles.
What do traffic and debt have in common? You don't want to be in either for too long. Move into the fast lane with Fairwinds Credit Union. We'll help you set goals, save more, and be your guide to achieving financial freedom together. Visit fairwinds.org/together and become a member today. Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Get Ready for College sale. Oh my, are you okay?
My baby boy is going off to college. And move-in day is almost here.
Well, right now through July 25th, you can save on everything they need for the semester. Plus, join us in-store on the 22nd and 23rd for giveaways, workshops, and more.
Did you say savings?
Yep. Come in-store or go to ikea-usa.com/ready-for-college to save on the semester. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on ikea-usa.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeartRadio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Go with your gut. Go with Dynamite. 70% of your dog's immune system is based in the gut. So for overall health, good nutrition is vital. But how can you be sure your dog is getting the nutrition they need? A diet lacking proper nutrients can present issues like itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE. Dinovite is the delicious nutritional supplement created to boost your dog's overall health. And the reviews are incredible.
Poor Sam, he was a mess, always itching. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dinovite, I started to see improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent.
Right now, try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio. That's DINOVITE.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
If you're a pro painter, do you know how much you're paying per gallon for paint? Paint stores try to convince you that you're getting a good deal with deep discounts. But what they don't tell you is their starting price is too high to begin with. If you buy paint from the Home Depot, you're getting the lowest price per gallon on Behr paint, guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Plus, pros earn discounts through our Pro Extra Paint Rewards program. That's the value of the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only. See store for details.
The podcast, The Girlfriends, tells the story of Carol and Mindy, two women who both dated a man named Bob. On paper, Bob is the total package, a successful plastic surgeon, a pilot. But Carol and Mindy discover that Bob could also be a murderer.
I, in a joking way, say to him, well, what did you do, murder your wife? And his response was, what do you know?
Listen to The Girlfriends on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Real
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Hey Jack, Jim, Deborah, and Ross. This is Main 420 here. They're talking about John Grisham, one of my favorite authors. But if you read Runaway Jury, it's about big tobacco, but the movie is about the gun company. Just thought I'd give you a heads up on that. Anyways, have a good day, guys, from Maine. Love you. Bye.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that very much.
I don't know why, but I love his accent.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031.
420 Maine.
Yeah. Hey. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. Top of the hour, we'll have another keyword for you. Maybe you can win that money. It's so funny. I mentioned, shooting a good score this weekend. And I looked down at my phone a second ago, and an old buddy of mine texted me. Chris DeMarco is a former PGA Tour player.
The man.
Now plays on the senior tour. Really good dude. I mean, like a great guy. I played his charity tournament a bunch, and I was like, oh, that's cool. DeMarco's going to send me a little message saying congratulations on shooting a good score. No, dude, he wanted me to remind me of a John Grisham movie I missed. I didn't mention A Time to Kill, which apparently is... I totally forgot about that one. It was another monster Grisham output. It was very good. 407-916-1041. So
I wonder what his net worth is.
Who, DeMarco's?
No, Grisham.
Oh, God, I don't know. It's uncomfortable to ask the first one. I don't know. He's still texting me. He's up. He listens every day. You got to chill out. The guy's got to... I'm sure he's doing all right.
He's come to our poker tournament in the past.
He's the greatest, man. So with that said, I want to ask you guys something about your bodies.
All right. Talk to me about bodies.
For some reason, over the last couple of days, and I haven't been taking any drugs, no medication that I don't normally take, nothing like that, my armpits have been sweaty AF, like indoors. What is going on? What happens when you have, okay, so it's not like gross. Like I know people who have that thing where they do that excessively. It's
called hyperhidrosis.
Yeah, they will sweat through their shirts, even in a cool room. Like even right now, this room is notoriously cold. This entire building is notoriously cold. But for some reason,
have you changed your deodorant?
My pits are a little juicy.
Like, are you still doing an antiperspirant, or did you switch?
So I just do a deodorant now. I don't do antiperspirant.
Oh,
there's your reason why. Yeah, exactly.
But I haven't done antiperspirant for like a month and a half now.
Yeah, but now you're feeling sweat that before the deodorant was keeping you from feeling.
You think it would be that long, that it would take that long to cycle that stuff out of your body?
I think the question is, how long would it take for you to notice?
Well, I would notice pretty quick, because if you don't have juicy pits normally, and then all of a sudden you have juicy pits, a juicy pit is hard to ignore.
Show title.
So,
it's amazing what one letter changes that. You go from,
be
something
very careful.
that could be amazing versus something that we're talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
but man, I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with this. I don't know if women deal with this or not. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
If it's different, like genetically, how we, from person to person. But man,
you can get Botox for that, just like you can get it for sweaty hands, sweaty feet. They would inject your underarms with Botox.
I don't know, but I don't want to do that because you're supposed to sweat. Like the whole idea, you're supposed to get that out of your body.
Yeah, you're blocking up the system.
Yeah, that's why I don't use antiperspirant anymore.
Well, then quit your bitching.
I'm not bitching about it. I don't know what's going on. I want to make sure I'm not dying. My God, I'm at that point in my life where I have to pay attention to everything.
Hyperhidrosis.
Yeah.
That's what the internet is saying that you have.
Yeah. They say they also say you're drinking too much.
Really?
Yeah. Too much alcohol.
Is that a thing?
Wow. That seems like that might have been close to the mark.
I may have hit it a little bit this weekend. I'm just being honest.
Well, you prefaced this entire thing with, I haven't done anything different.
No. Okay, well, hold on. I went out.
You go boozing a little harder than usual.
So Friday night we didn't go out, but Saturday night we went out. I've wound up at the Post Time Lounge like 2 weekends in a row.
Dig it.
And I have to tell you, been having a blast.
Yeah.
Because they get good bands out there. My Generation, which is a local cover band known to be really good at what they do, they were playing this weekend, and that place was absolutely slammed. But I had a couple drinks, and then Code Black and Miss Code Black came over yesterday to have a little cookout and had a couple beers then while we were playing some spades. So I did probably have a little more to drink this weekend than norm.
To say that's not the worst. Sometimes I tried the deodorant. I get it. I might be giving myself cancer. I'm not about having sweaty armpits. I'm antiperspirant all day. Aluminum, don't care. I don't want those crevices of my body to be damp.
Yeah.
But sometimes, this is my bad move, I'll forget one of the armpits.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
He'll swipe one and forget the other.
You should do them at the same time.
How do you even do that? What do you do one before? How do you do that?
Check this with some dumbass
I
logic.
mean, how do you do one and go, I'm good?
I'm just I hit the left.
Do you think only people are going to be standing on your right that day?
I'd be just like walking in circles. It's weird, man. I have done that. So then the right side of my body is damp, and then the left side is
No. You get 2 deodorants at the same time. You apply them to the other pit,
double pit to chesty,
and that way they're going to last twice as long because you're only doing one arm with each.
Somebody said liver disease, but I just had my life imaging scan. They didn't see any problems with my liver.
Are you kidding me? You just said, yeah, my armpits are sweaty, and someone out there is like, liver disease.
Well, you never know. Look,
this guy's kind of jumping the shark there.
No, it's not necessarily the truth, because when I had my vocal cord issues, right, I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and that person immediately sent me to a gastrointestinologist.
Oh, no.
Why'd you say it like a question?
Because I'm not sure I'm saying it properly.
That's why you get the buzzer.
A stomach doctor.
There you go.
What is it?
Gastroenterologist.
Oh, okay. Well,
now tell us what the ear, nose, and throat doctor is called.
Not only did she say it, but she drove the shank in hard because she said it easily.
Yeah. No problem whatsoever.
Otolaryngology.
No chance.
It's an ENT.
So, ear, nose, throat, right? So I went to the ear, nose, throat because my throat was sore, and he sent me to a stomach doctor because what causes the sore throat is acid reflux. When you sleep at night, when you have acid reflux, it comes up into your throat, and it gets on your vocal cords, which causes an acidic reaction, and it gives you problems. So those things can tie into each other. That probably was alcohol, though. 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. We have an interesting topic coming up next, all right? There was a couple in Germany. One person did something to the other person, which caused their death, all right? But it was not a murder per se. They were trying to do something. And I think this is one of the biggest stigmas in sexuality in the world. And I want to find out what you guys think about it. We'll do that next.
Your shot at $1,000 is next. Brought to you locally by Mills Air. If you want a shot at $5,000, make sure you're listening to us on our free iHeartRadio
From
app.
the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Seeing some heavy traffic westbound on I-4 this afternoon between the Beach Line and 535 and between the Greenway and the 429 as well. Looking at a good ride for those taking the Turnpike north or southbound this afternoon. Traffic is up to speed as well on the Beach Line as well as on the Greenway. If you see problems on the roadways today, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
We'll tell you all you've ever wanted to know about toilet paper. Be sure to listen to this week's edition of Our American Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The 2023 Real Radio Texas Hold'em Charity Poker Tournament, presented by InjuredOnTheGo, is now sold out. But don't worry, there's still a way for you to join us Saturday, August 19th at the Orlando Science Center and help us raise money for the mustard seed of Central Florida by joining us in the HomeLoansRadio.com casino. That's right, casino passes are still available, and you can get casino chips, food from Hard Rock Cafe Orlando, access to raffle and silent auction items, and selfie opportunities with all your favorite celebrities and more. Go to realradio.fm/poker for more information.
Hi, I'm Octavia Clausman. My dad is attorney Glenn Clausman, who helps people with their injury claims. My dad really cares about people. His clients have his cell number so they can call him anytime. At home, at night, I see him working on their files. He talks about how his clients' injuries have affected them and how he tries to help. He really cares. If you have an injury claim, you should call my dad, Glenn Klausman. Call 407-917-1718. He'll give you his cell number. Glenn Klausman at KLAUSMANlaw.com. Office, Winter Park.
You know, buying or refinancing a home can be worrisome enough, but doing it without the best people on your team can make it feel almost impossible, but it really doesn't need to. Do what so many of us have done at Real Radio 104.1 and put that mortgage guy Don on your team and let him show you the broker difference. If you already have a quote for your loan or refinance, go to thatmortgageguyDon.com. Don will interpret it for you, tell you how much you're actually paying for your loan, and let you know if you can get a better deal. Peace of mind at your fingertips, so don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
You can always count on a classic. It's timeless and tastefully legendary. That's the truth behind the Troppy Chop. Often imitated, too delicious to be duplicated. The sauce just won't taste the same. But to really stand out, you gotta stay fresh and move to the beat of your own bowl. The Troppy Chop, only at Pollo Tropical. A classic that never goes out of style.
Enrique turns around, rips a shot. Oh, he scores! Oh, that's an outstanding goal!
Orlando City is back at home this week as the Lions take on Houston in the first match of our Leagues Cup group stage on Friday, July 21st at 8 p.m. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. Don't forget to tune in an hour before the match at 7 p.m. to catch Kickoff Minus 60, airing exclusively on the Lion Nation app.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Let's be real, Florida home insurance is an absolute nightmare. And with hurricane season at your doorstep, you need a home insurance company that you can depend on. That's why there's Open House. They're a tech-enabled home insurance provider that uses smart data to keep your premiums low. And you can get an obligation-free quote in seconds and join your neighbors that are saving hundreds of dollars with Open House. You can also get discounts for your smart life choices, like having a gym membership or a dog. So start saving today by going to openhouseinsurance.com. See openhouse.com insurance for details. This advertisement does not constitute a binding offer or guarantee of coverage.
After an accident, it's important to hire an attorney right away. Evidence can disappear quickly. Sure, you could wait to hire an attorney later and see how things turn out, but delays never make a case better. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. JustCallMo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Welcome to the Unlit Life. It's this place where you feel free, like enjoying a low-key get-together with friends instead of a wild night on the town style of free. When you can enjoy a moment with Blue Vapor just because. You know, the everyday doesn't have to feel so every day. With Blue e-cigs, you can get stuff done and still have fun. And when we let ourselves get unlit, we start really living. Blue. Get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Fontum Holding 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fontum US LLC.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Because I don't like asking my family for help.
Because paying utility bills on time beats paying reconnection fees.
Amp's got cash advance up to $500. No credit checks. Get started at ampscott.com. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
A small blue raspberry Slurpee drink from 7-Eleven is the perfect frozen accessory for any summer outfit, winter outfit, or midnight craving outfit. We don't judge. We just sell small Slurpee drinks any flavor for only $1. Slurpee. Anything flows. Expires 12/31/2023 plus tax. Visit store for details.
Injured? Hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Jimmy, it's me, Sweaty Josh. I have hyperhidrosis. I've had it all my life, really bad. Jack and Ross, they hit it on the head, man. If you're drinking a lot of alcohol, a lot of caffeine, and you're not using antiperspirant, it will make you sweat a little bit more. But don't forget, it's hot out. You know, it's real hot. Anyway, Sweaty Josh out.
Thanks, Sweaty Josh. I appreciate that. I did have a little more to drink than usual this weekend, and I'm not a caffeine monster by any means, but I do love my coffee, and I have a cup every day. I can imagine that's... I have been drinking more caffeine, though. I usually only have 1 cup, but here the last few mornings, I've had a couple of cups. So...
There you go.
5 o'clock keyword is Bills, BILLS. Go to realradio.fm, send that away. Maybe you can win that $1,000. Bills is your 5 o'clock keyword.
You're crushing those Nespresso pods.
I'm about to ask you, buddy.
At $1.25 each.
916-1041. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here. Jack is here, and so is Ross. Well, tell me, how have your first few days with the Nespresso been?
You got time?
Yeah, it's a new world, right?
I'm trying to decide how long I can use it for the first 30 days before I return it.
What?
Not digging it.
Look at you.
I know you're so disappointed.
What happened?
Jim won't even look at me right now.
Is it that you just don't know what good coffee tastes like?
It might be. You know what?
And I'm not being a dick because people get it. I'll give you an example. A lot of people in my circle think Dunkin' is the best coffee out there, and Dunkin' makes a fine cup of coffee. There's no question about that.
Right.
But when you compare that to a Nespresso coffee, to me, it's not even near the same experience.
So, I am not drinking coffee black, right?
Okay.
Okay. I need to have it a little lighter and a little sweeter. So I am adding things to do that. You are changing the flavor there. So right off the bat, I think you're lessening the quality of a coffee, right?
This guy's trying to figure out something.
Listen.
What kind of ketchup do you like on your steak?
Oh, you're well done, Steak Jack.
I'm just saying, I looked at it. I tried it. I went the weekend with it. The box just arrived of a month of coffee. And I'm looking at returns right now on how I can return it. You have a month to return it. Now I'm wondering, do I use it for a month, then return it? Or the fact that I know I don't want to keep it, do I return it?
Well, I mean,
right
if you don't like the coffee, don't drink it just because you bought it. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
It's okay.
Now, I will tell you something real quick. Let me hit it. We were Keurig people, and we got our Nespresso. Do you remember what happened in the Nespresso when we got it?
You put it on the camper.
I put it in my camper because I didn't want to use it because I wasn't used to it. And I was like, Jack, I'm like, this is something about this I don't dig. So when we sold the camper, pulled the Nespresso back out and gave it another shot. When we were able to compare it after using the Keurig for a while and then going to that one, for me, it wasn't even close. I literally took the Keurig out of my house that day and sold it at a garage sale or something.
What do you put in your coffee?
A little bit of turbinado sugar and cream. Half and half, not powder. You can't do powder.
Right.
Yeah.
And none of that vanilla coffee mate crap.
None of that.
Okay, fine.
You should never put coffee mate in your coffee.
I'm trying to stop doing that.
Don't use non-dairy creamers. Don't do it. It's not good for you. You should just be using half and half for whole milk.
Half and half, and then sugar.
Yeah, a little bit of sugar, yeah.
Would you say Toronado sugar?
It's raw sugar.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
because
I always go
sugar.
for the brown pack. Yeah, it seems healthier.
Yeah, it's not salty. It's just that it has molasses in it and has a different kind of flavor.
What kind of creamers does the Bradshaw house get?
Listen, I don't need heat
told
from
you.
you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
He's
need
got
heat
that
from you.
French vanilla stuff.
Oh, I'm sure it's like cream to
Coffee
mint.
mate French vanilla is his favorite.
I bet it's like coconut macaroon.
No.
It's all.
I've tried the other flavors, but I always come back to French vanilla.
That's your problem. That is your problem, buddy. Your problem is you don't know anything about
You're
coffee.
right. But so here's the deal. I have to decide, am I going to pay 10 times more for each cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what it is.
You've already answered your own question,
10
Jack.
times more.
Listen, that's
is it
what's that's-
10 times better?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can't say it is.
The fact is now you're thinking about the money of it, and that's all you can think about. You're like, oh my god! Every time you can't even enjoy a sip of it because now you're counting pennies. Jack, send it
today
back.
was pretty good.
Send it back. You're not ready for it.
I'm so
You might be
Send
right.
it back. You're simply not ready for quality yet.
I'm blown away that Deb looked at you and went, "Oh, French vanilla."
Well, he talks about it all the time.
Immediately.
You just have French vanilla. It's like
she had that in the barrel.
When it comes to coffee, Jack, it's like don't judge a book cover because you might read the entire book by accident.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, French vanilla, huh?
It's like $10 a coffee for a month or a day. It's
Get out of here. It's $1.25
a pod.
For the quality of the coffee you get is
$1.50 if you get the
amazing.
Starbucks pods
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Target, which I had to do in the interim because I wasn't sure how fast it would arrive.
Yeah,
but the box came.
I think the other ones are better, man, and the seasonal stuff is so damn good.
But Jack, is it better? You're over here saying, it's not 10 times better?
I would say this morning was the first time where I had the cup and I was like, all right, that was pretty good. But I also put creamer in it too. But I
Yeah.
whipped it up in the that thing.
Oh,
so
yeah,
when my
that's a
daughter
good
comes
time.
over, she
The
drinks
whipper-upper
her
thing.
she drinks her coffee black, and occasionally I'll have a cup of black coffee with her. But there are only certain pods I like to drink just with nothing in it. And it's usually the Colombian coffee that you can get, and it's only occasionally. And they have a Mexican one as well, and you can only get them occasionally because the pods are hard to find sometimes. But those two I put nothing in because they're just wonderful like they are.
See, that's what people who drink it black. First of all, God bless you, because that's awesome. You don't have to worry about any adjustments. It is what it is, and if you can appreciate that, but that's a bitter pill.
That's
to
how my father-in-law drinks his coffee, dead black, nothing in it. All right, 407-916-1041. A German man has died, guys. A German man has died after a botched penis enlargement surgery that has resulted in criminal charges against the unlicensed practitioner. Here's the thing. This guy is a 32-year-old named Martin M. He died from blood poisoning and organ failure, no pun intended, after Torben K. Injected his penis with silicone in an effort to enlarge it. Now, this is a gay couple. One found the other one on a dating service. And he said, I was so enamored with the size of his, I wanted mine to be the same size. So he wanted to inject it. Now, he's just buying this stuff offline and inject it in there. Now, this guy's dead now because of this weird myth with men who want giant units. And that's part of the story. What is it with that? What caused that? What caused
the first time you peeked over at the other urinal?
Yeah, is it
porn?
I would say porn.
Is that what it is? Is that what caused every man in America to feel?
Oh, the
that
world,
he has,
honey.
That he has.
Yeah.
The world. You're right.
Yeah.
That he has to be incredibly endowed to be considered a man, or sexually pleasurable, or sexually viable.
It's called your manhood. So the idea that bigger, right? That the bigger.
The family
I wasn't trying to
jewels.
be flip, but it's the bigger is better. But
No, it's not.
Right. And Deb, you can speak to that. However, it's interesting that this is a gay couple, and you would almost think that they might be immune from that. That thought process.
That was the other part of this. Like, I've never heard in my life. We always hear the thing about penis size in regards to regular relationships. Man and woman relationships, where and we've also I've never heard, again, of course, we've been around a lot of gay people in our lives here at the station, and I've never heard that size thing come into play with gay men. I've never heard any, again, And we've talked to a bunch of gay men over our lives. A bunch of them have been with the radio station in some way, shape, or form, and I've never heard that as part of an attraction thing for gay men.
To be fair, how many times have you talked to a gay man about penis size, though?
Brendan O'Connor.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Brendan O'Connor?
Well, I mean, I've talked to him about it.
Really?
Yes. And again, I don't believe it came into play with him at all. Like nothing, not at all. I think I even had a conversation with Wanzi back in the day about it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
was this when he was rubbing your foot in my garage?
This is just when it come up in conversations, and I don't believe it ever got mentioned with that. And by the way, Germany is the #1 place in the world where men go to get this done. 1 out of 5 of these surgeries happens in Germany.
Really?
Yeah. And guess how much the guy was charging to do it? By the way, the guy who killed this dude has done this before. 200 euros for him to inject some oil he gets offline into your junk so that you can have a bigger one.
We've heard about this being a problem here in Florida with those like plastic surgery parties where women will go to get a Brazilian butt lift or whatever.
Botox.
And they'll go to someone's home and end up getting their buttocks filled with, and it's not medical grade silicone, and it ends up causing all kinds of issues.
Yep, man. I
wonder if that is an issue in the gay community that penis size matters.
Oh, somebody just texted in and said size queens are everywhere.
Oh, really?
So that's the nickname is a size queen. In other words, I guess somebody who wants it bigger than normal.
Well, I mean,
that's not a woman thing,
What's
right?
a size queen?
Yeah, I think that's what we're just saying is I believe that a size queen to me would mean that that's a guy who is gay who wants other men who have large penises.
Well, I take it. I thought he was
Or they
referring to
want their own.
female.
Oh.
Are we still talking about? Do we know if he was referring to gay people?
Well, I mean, a queen is a gay guy, right? I mean, when he says size queens and we're talking about gay dudes, I would only assume that's what he's talking about.
We're on a small delay. You can still. The reason why I'm a little confused, I think there's a chance that he might be referring to women.
No,
and I get that you are definitely on the side of going, that doesn't matter.
Well, it does.
But no one agrees on anything, and there's still going to be a large portion, and it goes the same with men. Nah, man, I need butt. I need a big, my girl needs to have a big butt. She needs to have big boobs. They're on the other side. I don't think it's as prevalent, but I still think there are women who go, I need this.
Oh, they do, absolutely, but there's a comfort issue.
Yeah.
It's this idea that women crave that. Yeah, no.
There's a guy actually just texted in and says he is now. Again, this could be a flex.
Mark this.
But yeah. He says he's 10 inches.
Yeah.
And he says it's not what it's cracked up to be. A lot of women will not sleep with people who are that big. It's intimidating.
No, it's
it's
not intimidating.
They don't want the painful.
It's birth. That's not sex, you guys. If I need an episiotomy in order to have make love with you, then we got a problem here.
Right.
I'm not getting stitches there. I don't care how good your chicken cachtori is.
I think it's safe to say
I ain't tearing.
That there is such a thing as too big and too
There
small.
is.
Yeah.
There is. There is a such thing like that.
All
yeah.
right. 407-916-1041. We'll have to continue this conversation in 1 second, much to Jack's chagrin, but we'll do it next.
A social media experience that isn't totally toxic. Kind of a weird thing to brag about, but there it is. At Real Radio 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at your normal afternoon delays on I-4 right now as you take the interstate east and westbound in the Orlando area. Traffic is slowing down in Seminole between State Road 46 and 1792. Usual delays reported between the Beach Line and 535. No problems at this time for drivers taking the Beach Line itself or the Greenway. If you run into traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Jim Colbert Show question of the day. You find we put it on Facebook, we put it on Twitter, we put it in the YouTube chat. And it's asking you what you think so we could talk about it later in the show. And it's brought to you by We Are Not the Banks. JCSLive.com. If you are ready to start looking for a new home, if this is the summer where you move into your dream home, or you just want to refinance a home you're in, you need Brad Siebert at wearenotthebanks.com. Wearenotthebanks.com. They have loans for all types of buyers. Good credit, awesome. Bumps in your credit, guess what? They can still work with you. You just put a little more money down. They have all types of loans available for you to use. VA loans, conventional loans, jumbo loans, even no-income documentation loans. I use wearenotthebanks.com for my refi several years ago. Fast, easy, got a great rate, and put me in a great spot today because I made that decision back then. Do what I did. Go online to wearenotthebanks.com. Get started today. NMLS ID number 66247, equal housing opportunity.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Get your tickets now
at AXS.com
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Immerse yourself in virtual reality with Kokomo, the new app from Canon. Connect with friends and family live in photorealistic environments. It's like being together even if you're miles apart. Search Kokomo by Canon to download now from the Meta Quest Store, Apple App Store, or Google Play.
Deals on the McD app are kind of like cool breezes on a hot summer day. You don't know when they're coming, but when they hit, there's nothing quite like them. Save time and get back to summer fun when you order ahead on the app. Pick up a juicy, tender McCrispy, golden fries, and a refreshing Dr. Pepper. It's 30% off your entire order when you spend $5 using mobile order and pay on the McD app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid 6/1/23 through 12/31/23 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7UP, Inc.
A meal at McDonald's brings my family closer together. And now that same meal helps bring other families closer together. When we order a family bundle deal that has 40 crispy chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries, McDonald's donates 50 cents to local Florida Ronald McDonald House Charities chapters, providing a home away from home so families can stay close to their child during medical care. We can also round up our order and the extra will get donated. Food, family, and helping others? What could be better? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Have you noticed that solar panels are popping up everywhere? You never know who's going to have solar next. And here's a thought, it could be you. Utility rates keep going up, and now is a great time to save big with Solar Source. Solar Source has been getting the job done in Central Florida for almost 40 years. And right now, Monster fans get special access to their new AI-powered tool that can get you an estimate in 1 minute or less. Visit solarsource.com/monsters for an instant quote.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Slowed down, held back, inhibited. What you get out depends on what you put in. Rejuvenate your engine's performance with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, because true performance knows no bounds. New and improved Shell V-Power Nitro Plus removes up to 100% of performance-robbing deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. Continuous use in gasoline direct injection engine fuel injectors.
If you're a pro painter, do you know how much you're paying per gallon for paint? Paint stores try to convince you that you're getting a good deal with deep discounts. But what they don't tell you is their starting price is too high to begin with. If you buy paint from the Home Depot, you're getting the lowest price per gallon on Behr paint, guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Plus, pros earn discounts through our Pro Extra Paint Rewards program. That's the value of the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only. See store for details.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
The podcast, The Girlfriends, tells the story of Carol and Mindy, two women who both dated a man named Bob. On paper, Bob is the total package, a successful plastic surgeon, a pilot. But Carol and Mindy discover that Bob could also be a murderer.
I, in a joking way, say to him, well, what did you do, murder your wife? And his response was, what do you know?
Listen to The Girlfriends on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, Colbert Show. Sorry if it's a little noisy. I'm out walking the dog. But yes, you're right. The size queen is a gay man that likes a particular size apparatus. A lot of gay men don't care, but you have some that do. Just like with women, a lot don't care, but some do. So it's just preference. You know, it is what it is. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. That's what you usually talk about when you're walking your dog.
Yeah, size queens. Who doesn't?
What's funny is, imagine him, he's walking by his neighbor's house and his neighbor's on the porch and just listening, and they're like, what the hell? Who is he talking
This guy's
to?
dog's a freak.
I need to hear this radio show.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Bills is your 5 o'clock keyword. That's BILLS. Go to RealRadio.fm. Send that away for your chance at $1,000. Remember, if you're playing the game, pick up your phone when you hear it ring, because that's how they tell you you've won. If you let that go, you could lose that $1,000. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well.
I'll get some half and half on the way home, and I'll try it.
Yeah. Get some good sugar, too. Don't use do you use sweet and low or anything like that?
No.
Don't use
I
fake
typically don't
sweeteners.
use sugar. Like, the sweetener itself is sweet enough,
Yeah.
but all right. What?
Yeah.
I get Publix half and half.
Yeah, that's what I
Publix
do.
half and
That's
half, all right.
exactly what I use.
All
Yep.
right.
Yeah, it's what I've been using for a while now.
And some natural sugar.
Yeah, and stop using sweeteners out there. Stop using aspartame. It's terrible for you. My God Almighty, stop using it. Everybody goes to these things to try margarine and stuff to try to lose weight or cut down on fat. That stuff is so terrible for you. It's just moderation and the stuff that we know is fine.
Well, your body knows what butter is.
You can have butter. It's fine. It's natural.
I just convinced myself of what the meaning of life was this past week.
How's that?
I think we are put on this planet as each and special little individuals as we are, because we are a sum of DNA and surroundings. I think our purpose of life is to go out, experience, and be in pursuit of our own personal balance. Because each one of us has their own balance. Some people can drink more, some people can drink less.
Easy.
Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
What I'm trying that's my new goal in life.
Get some balance.
I'm just trying
That's
to
the key.
find out what is the definition of too much when it comes to this certain category of my life.
All right.
I'm finding out what's too little.
Nothing wrong with that at all,
And
buddy.
I think I'm going to do that for like 50 years and then die. And call it, and then
Just call it good
quits
from there.
and be
Yeah,
like,
very good.
I felt like I did all right.
Yeah, all right. We're talking about this this German couple, this gay couple. It's actually, I don't even know if they were a couple. They met on a dating site, and one guy went over there, and I guess they'd had sex. And the one dude was marveling over the other guy's size, his junk. And it wasn't just the one part. Apparently, the other part was giant as well. So he, that's what he wanted to be a part of, and he
There's
allowed
more than
this
one
guy.
part?
Well, I mean the testes.
Oh.
He wanted those too?
Yeah, he wanted those big as well.
His twig and giggleberries.
Well, that's fair because you don't want it to be that unproportional, you know?
Ross was just talking about balance.
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess so, but no, you
Which
don't
is
want to
the-
inject anything into there.
No. What's the weirder look though? A big top part and a really small bottom part?
Here's the answer. The whole thing is funny looking.
Yeah, we get that.
That looks like a baby vulture in a tree.
We all get that. Yeah.
But I would absolutely, you would have to match up, your boys with the trunk.
Yeah.
Because then it would just be so odd.
It would look very odd if you were well endowed and then just had tiny testes. And then the other way around, if you weren't well endowed, but then you had giant testes, it would be weird. By the way, although that gentleman called and said the size queen was a gay thing, Like almost
and female thing.
Almost everybody on the texting service disagrees and says it's a female thing. He says it can be a gay guy thing, but we must have gotten 10.
So I think maybe a size queen refers to anyone who wants their partner to have a larger unit.
Yes. Yeah.
So that can be male or female, most commonly female.
Yeah.
But it could be male as well. If they are in that subset that want their partner to be larger, then they would be considered a size queen, either male or female. That's my take.
This guy's now facing charges of committing dangerous bodily harm resulting in death and the violation of the Alternative Medical Practitioners Act.
So he wasn't a rogue plastic surgeon. He was just the partner of this person.
Yeah, this guy was just a dude, right? By the way, the guy injected himself with silicone before, and he ordered this oil that they were injecting, which is intended for cleaning surfaces here in the U.S.
Man.
That is one. I mean, here's the thing. Like, how bad is it? How bad is it? Is it? I mean, what is? I've heard of micro penis. What is that even institute? What is that? What is the size if it's considered micro?
I'm not putting that in my search history.
Yeah.
Do it on your computer.
Is it like below 3 inches, or is it below like 4 inches or something?
I believe it's termed an acorn. I saw the website once.
Come on.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Deborah, you're just being disrespectful.
I am not. There is an actual website.
I bet there is.
So if I type in the acorn.
Yeah,
I'll type it in.
I'm sure there's an acorn website, but I don't know if they're using acorns as a unit of measurement.
Urban Dictionary, acorn penis. A penis so small that it's actually only the head with no shaft whatsoever.
Whoa! Wow. I wonder what percentage of people have to deal with that. Now, see, that would be a travesty. Because it would be hard to have a relationship with anybody. I mean, it would be hard. It would be hard for a woman. Oh man, I don't know. Would that be difficult?
Yes.
I mean, that's
the answer is yes.
That's real love, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody loves you and you have that, you know for a fact that person loves you as a human, like loves you. And men don't have that. Like we can't have an experience like that with women. There are no micro vaginas. It doesn't work like that.
No, but with breasts, I mean, you could have a woman who's such a small A cup that.
But there are guys who dig that. There are guys who like women with small breasts, no differently than there are dudes who like women with big boobs.
Yeah, I think really in the end of stuff, when it comes to a relationship, the stuff that we're talking about here, having fun, that matters in dating and in relationships in some aspect. But I think that's something that people can get over a lot easier than we give credit for. I really do.
So
it's like being with someone who's bald.
It is not even close to being bald, and I want you to take that back.
I'm actually
you
with
need
them.
to take that back.
I think it's identical to
You know
being
what?
bald.
You also,
No, but some women might.
all of you need to take it back.
It's a matter of taste.
It's a matter of taste.
Jack didn't even say it, and I want him to take it back.
It's a matter of taste.
It is not a matter of taste.
It is a matter of taste.
My bald head is nothing like having a micro penis.
Your bald head is more fuzz than anything. I mean, it's not really bald.
Well, you
It's
know
fuzz.
what? It's bald.
Yeah.
It's bald enough to be considered in this argument.
It's not enough to protect him from sunlight.
But Deborah, come on. If you go out with a guy and you guys are dating and you've been dating like 3 or 4 weeks and it's the first time that you're going to be physical and
you need a warning on that.
And you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think you do. I mean, the guy probably has dealt with a lot of adversity when dealing with sexual relations like that. I mean, how would you even react to that if a guy pulls his pants down and there's literally nothing? It looks like it's glued to his stomach.
There's just
you don't do that. You don't laugh.
There's just a 1-letter braille.
Yeah. What do you do though? I mean,
well, the last thing you do is make it worse.
I know, but I mean, if you want to have a relationship with someone and you want to,
then you have to decide whether or not you can become comfortable with that.
Right.
There comes a certain point where maturity. I mean, because that's a part of him that you're going to be with, but I think you have to work. That's where other skills come in handy. Because you could have someone with a 10-inch and never has given his woman an orgasm.
Right.
Then you've got someone who might be dangling an acorn.
Right.
And, she's looking for him in the daytime with a flashlight because he's still getting the job done.
Yeah. I still need you to take the bald thing back. It's not even close.
Well, go ahead.
Identical twin of a statement in my eyes. I don't see any
Get out of here.
difference.
It's not even close to being insane. Being bald is easy for women to get over. I mean, I'm a little proof of that.
Now, a texter
I'm
says
a medium proof of that.
bald equals micropenis, but I don't know if there's any
Oh,
science.
come on.
I don't think there's science to back that up.
There's no science to back that up.
I think that might be an opinion.
There are many well-packing bald guys.
There's no stereotype or anything. Jim, what do you drive?
I drive a Ford Ranger.
All right.
Are you trying to say because it's a small pickup truck?
No.
That is in some way, shape, or form a relation to what is behind zipper number 1?
All I'm saying is I think Deb is spot on with this analogy.
Oh, Deb is not even close to this. Oh, and because you drive a junker, all of a sudden you're supposed to be a big swinging Tarzan?
I never even thought about that. The stereotype, my car is so ass that everybody thinks I'm packing. That's
Plus,
great.
it's the tall, skinny ones you have to watch out for.
I've always said that I am like, I feel very comfortable and I feel very lucky to be comfortable talking about what God gave me because it is like so comically average.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like,
it's so funny to me that it's
I call
like,
it the standard issue white guy.
It's the it's the main character of Idiocracy of Wanks.
Yeah, exactly. I always say, like, well, what's happening? I'm like, look, man, I got the standard issue. I did not get anything else. Standard issue. You're every day.
Yeah, it works, and I'm super grateful.
Yeah. Nobody is going to. There's not going to be a Pulp Fiction briefcase moment when I drop my pants. It's not going to be any of that. No one's going to stare at it and wonder.
I do find it weird, especially in the last couple of years, where I think it's safe to say that people have grown or at least attempted to be more sensitive to other people. That
I would agree with that.
That people find themselves uncomfortable at times with their own preference when it comes to physically when it comes to a partner.
But women do not deal with this aspect. Like women do not deal with. I will give you the boob argument for sure, but there's never going to be a situation where two people who are deciding to have sex get naked in front of each other for the first time, and the man is going to look down and laugh. Like the only thing that you could say is how it is, how it may be trimmed or whatever the case may be. That would be the only moment that a man could look at another woman's genitalia and say, "Oh my God," or something like that. Not like that moment where if you pull your pants down as a man and both, either you're large or you're not large, that you're going to get a reaction. And if you're small, you're going to be able to tell in her face immediately that she thinks it's maybe not normal. I believe.
Without going into great detail, I once had a one-night stand, and by all means, when we got naked, I did not laugh, she did not laugh, but I remember on how that night went and how everything was, that played a massive factor on whether or not there was going to be a second time.
From her perspective?
From mine.
Oh, from yours?
From mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I said, I won't go into great detail, but just know that it wasn't 100% of the reason, but it played a role in whether or not we were going to do that again.
I am thoroughly intrigued.
Right? That was the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't share, huh?
No, I don't think live on air.
Yeah. Okay,
it wasn't anything that she did wrong or something. It was just like when you're talking about, is there a preference when there's no girl version? There's always going to be a perfect idea of what someone has in their head.
Yeah.
Maybe this is too rough for me to say or think, but like, of course I have that. Everyone has that.
Well, yeah, everybody
wants perfect whatever part that is.
Right, and I think vice versa. And obviously, we all know where we stand. I mean, you're not going to be with someone who is ideally perfect. Although my wife is close, but you're not gonna have that kind of thing. It's just like, and let's use her as a perfect example. Like I feel bad for her having to sleep with me. I feel bad.
Oh,
I feel really bad about it. I'm joking.
I mean, okay.
Come on.
I'm looking at her GoFundMe now.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Load them up. We'll do trivia next.
Real Radio is the News Junkie.
A technology mogul has been branded a creep after he claims to have offered a woman $100,000 to do what on a flight?
Oops.
What do you think?
Join the Mile High Club.
Go a little more controversial than this.
Join the Mile High Club in blackface.
No.
The News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
This is Jared Carabas. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings.
NFL execs, coaches, players say Aaron Rodgers in a new poll is the fourth best quarterback in the league. But Aaron is and always has been more Dan Marino than Tom Brady. Mesmerized everyone by how well Rodgers throws the ball. But playing quarterback's way more than that. No question Aaron still has the talent, but I've always felt he and Marino are missing a lot of other elements of the position. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Baseball is back with me, Jared Carabas, breaking down the sport of baseball and discussing my picks all season long. Download and listen to the newest episode from my show, Baseball is Dead with DraftKings, releasing in season every Monday and Thursday, available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Let me tell you something, man. If you're looking for a new bathroom, Rebath in Mid-Florida could be the answer for what you need. And here's one of the many reasons why. This is all they do. It's not like they're not a subcontractor that builds everything. They focus solely on bathrooms. Their entire business is focused on getting you a new or remodeled bathroom. That is what they do, and they're very good at it. Because they only focus on this, their entire team is focused on getting you the bathroom of your dreams, and they have the products and the people to bring that to life. And here's the thing. First thing, let's get rid of the myths. This is not going to take 5 months. You're not going to see a different crew of people every day. And you are going to get great products. The products you picked out at the store to have installed. They're not going to switch it up on you to save money for them and screw you over. That's not how it's going to work. All you're going to get is a beautiful bathroom every single time. Our buddy Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training just got 2 bathrooms from these guys. And when he's showing me pictures of them, it's like he's showing me pictures of his kids. He was so excited because of what they did for his space. And when you go online, rebathmidfla.com, and you look at the before and afters, look, man, that'll sell it alone because the products that they provide and the craftsmanship that they provide are simply amazing. I mean, really is amazing. Stop by their showroom, 436 up in Altamont. They're right across from Kobe. If you're considering remodeling or replacing a bathroom, start there and let these guys at least get you a design going so you can get an idea of what they can do for you. And yes, they can do all the stuff you see in magazines and all the stuff you see on TV. Log on today, check out the before and afters, and then book your appointment. Your new bathroom is right there in Altamont at rebathmidfla.com.
Here's how to avoid a top mistake in divorce. Text messages and social media posts can wind up in front of a judge. Act accordingly. Don't post like a fool. Divorce? Trenley Kramer Law. TK Law. OneFirmForLife.com.
Baby boomers and retirees, protect yourself from the coming tidal wave of higher taxes. This administration's spend and tax schemes, along with their failed economic policies, are only going to add more to the taxes already being taken of your retirement savings. You can gain retirement tax protection from national talk show wealth strategist and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution. Learn how you can get a head start to be retirement tax smart. Imagine learning proven solutions, saving thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. Retirementprotected.com.
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique, so Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ow. Okay, it's all right. Let's just start over. And 1, and oh.
Ballroom dancing is a lot like saving for retirement.
Okay, class. Switch up partners.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's way easier with someone who knows the right moves. With Fairwinds Credit Union as your dance partner, you can glide into financial freedom by saving more and planning for your future. Visit fairwinds.org/together and become a member today. Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
Running a small business takes grit and determination and a communications provider that's got your back. That's Spectrum Business. Fast, reliable communication solutions that keep your business going. Get 300 megabits per second internet, just $49.99 a month when bundled with Spectrum Business Connect, the all-in-one phone system that lets you work from anywhere on any device. And get a free mobile line for a year. Visit spectrum.com/go faster. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Stephen Kramer on a little bit later today for TK Law. Usually we talk to our buddy Ray Trinley. Ray is on vacation, so Steve is stepping in. And we're going to talk about some of this cool stuff happening in the entertainment industry, the strike, what AI means, because that's a big player right now. A number of authors have come out and said, hey, look, you can't plagiarize our material. In other words, when you ask ChatGPT to write you a story a la Agatha Christie or a la Nora Roberts, that is plagiarizing their writing style. That's what they're saying. So interesting stuff happening on that realm, and Steve is really, really, really good at that. So we'll talk to him around 6:20 or so. 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And so is Jack.
Greetings.
And Ross has the sauce jar.
All aboard!
Chugga, chugga.
Look at it, Clack. Look at it, Clack.
I have a beautiful pair of tickets to the Leagues Cup Orlando City versus the Houston Dynamo. That's going down on Friday, July 21st at Exploria Stadium. For the record, this is kind of a historical match because I believe, yes, I know that this is the first match that Orlando City will be taking part of this competition because it's the first year of said competition.
You nailed it.
And also in the sauce jar is a beautiful pair of tickets to go see the Goo Goo Dolls.
Really?
At Coachman Park. That's going down July 24th. That is your sauce jar, which is always brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Go local and support a family-owned and operated Orlando moving and storage company. Just make sure you mention the Jim Colbert Show because that's going to get you a discount. Book them today at CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO. Moving.com. Quick clickety-clack. Back to you.
Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. Ross, who goes first today?
Let's welcome Brent.
Brent, right there on line 2. Brent, how are you, friend?
Great. Happy Monday. How are you guys?
Happy Monday to you, buddy. Would you like to play a little game with us?
Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you do.
Game show.
Damn it. No, we're
All
not.
right, Brent. This is a very easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of them is untrue. If you can sniff out that lie, I will send you over to see the Goo Goo Dolls. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. It's National Tattoo Day.
Ooh.
That's right, National Tattoo Day. Here are 3 fun facts about tattoos and tattooing. And, of course, one lie that loves its mom. Number 1, more women have tattoos than men. Number 2, the oldest known tattoos date back to 3250 BC. Number 3, about 15% of all tattoos are cover-ups of other tattoos. Or lastly, The most popular tattoo motif is angels with hearts. Which of those is untrue?
I'll go number 1.
No, that's absolutely true. More women have tattoos than men.
Really?
It's about 59% to 41%.
Which is amazing because growing up,
oh yeah, that
girls
was
didn't get tattoos.
That was a major taboo.
Now my wife and all 3 daughters have them.
Oh yeah, all my kids, every one of my kids have them. I'm the only one in my family that doesn't have a tattoo.
I don't have a tattoo.
I think it was that lower back phase that we
Yeah,
had.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Late 90s, early, because dudes weren't doing that.
A lot of stamps out there, player.
Unless they host a midday radio show. Let's welcome Chris on line 3.
Tramp stamp.
Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good, guys.
All right, man, we're talking about tattoos because today is National Tattoo Day. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, the oldest known tattoos date back to 3250 BC. Number 2, about 15% of all tattoos are cover-ups of other tattoos. Or lastly, the most popular tattoo motif is angels with hearts.
I'm going to go with the last one.
No, that's true. The most popular tattoo style or design is angels with or around hearts. There you go. Ross?
Let's welcome Sarah.
Sarah, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Sarah, do you have any tats?
I do.
Really? Where? How many do you have?
Just one on my ankle.
On your ankle? What is it?
A sunflower.
Oh,
You're expecting angels with hearts?
Yeah, I was actually. All right, we're talking about tattoos here on National Tattoo Day. Sarah, tell me which one of these is untrue. You got a 50-50 shot at going to see the Goo Goo Dolls. Number 1, the oldest known tattoos date back to 3250 BC. Or lastly, about 15% of all tattoos are cover-ups of other tattoos.
The second one.
Yeah, that's the one. You're a winner.
Yay!
Hey, for bonus points that don't mean anything, no extra prizes, what percentage of tattoos do you believe are cover-ups of other tattoos?
Let's go with 30%.
No, it's only 5.
Wow.
Only 5% of tattoos are cover-ups of other tattoos. There you go, Sarah. Ross,
I was
take
with
care of you.
Sarah. I thought for sure it was higher.
The oldest known tattoo, and it's so funny when you talk about them, there is one, they found one body or one mummy, and they call him the OT's man or something like that. And it's the oldest known because he has about 60 tattoos that are like, just lines or a series of dots for a design. And some of the early tattooing ink was made of some nasty stuff, including urine.
So I hesitated getting any further tattoo. I got one when I was 19, and that was way back when.
That's my favorite.
The dragon on the shoulder.
Settle down, Ross.
Show it to us, Jack.
It just definitely looks like a tattoo he got when he was 19.
Show it to us.
But when I donate blood, and in the past, it's always been with a year. Have you gotten a tattoo in the past year? Well, I donated blood just a couple weeks ago, and they changed it to within the past 3 months. So they have shrunk the window you have to wait after getting a tattoo to be able to donate blood. One, they're looking for donors, and they determine that, sometimes it's just out of caution. They get, let's make it a year. Well, they realize that, so many people are getting tattoos. If we want to have, a viable blood bank, we're going to need to open up the doors a little bit. So that's why they've been, looking at some of the restrictions.
Yeah, it's
including
crazy.
with gay donors.
Look,
exactly.
I could have done 15 trivia questions on tattoos. There's so much information about it. But here we go. We'll find out a little bit more before we get over to Ross' thoughts. When it comes to tattoo removal using lasers, black is the easiest color to remove. What colors are the most difficult? It's 2 of them.
Red and green.
Red and yellow.
Red and blue.
Green and yellow.
Nailed it.
Green and yellow are the most difficult to get out. Women usually do something different than men when getting a tattoo. Almost half of them do what?
Honor a loved one?
No.
Use no painkiller.
No, that's a good one, though.
You need a painkiller?
Sometimes.
Blue. They use blue.
No, they bring a friend.
Yeah,
Almost 40% of women who get a tattoo bring a friend with them to get a tattoo. That does not happen with men. The tattoo industry in America is worth about how much annually?
20 bill.
Oh, no. 2 billion. Too much.
2.5 billion.
You should have gone low. 1.65. Jack gets the ding.
Nailed it.
He does. It's a proven fact that tattoos help people dealing with grieving and loss. Because when you go, if you lose someone, you go and get a tattoo in their memory, and believe it or not, they have proven that it actually helps dealing with that loss.
I would also imagine, too, that like loss for some women who have had breast cancer and have had to have a breast removed, they'll have a beautiful tattoo put in its place to kind of honor that part of their body that they lost.
They live and tattoo the areola as well.
Yeah.
They can do that. And they're
with a dragon.
Oh, yeah, they're crazy. Tattoo is one of the most misspelled words in the English language. Spell it, Ross.
I thought rhythm would have been.
I'm going. Okay, I drive by them all the time going home. I'm going TATTOO.
Very good. You nailed it.
Nice.
And then
Give them a dong.
And then lastly, what percentage of people who get a tattoo regret it?
43%.
How much?
43.
All right.
I'll go 33.
Okay, I'll shoot it 38.
23% of the people who get a tattoo regret getting a tattoo.
I've always wanted one. I actually just floated out the idea of me and my wife getting tattoos, and then we both...
Oh, you wanted to get a divorce?
Well, here's the thing. We simultaneously agreed that they weren't going to be about it ourselves. Like,
just
we,
get that.
you know, like we legit were like, I'm not getting your name. I'm not getting your name. But we can get a line.
That's
I've heard this idea. I've heard that you choose hers and she chooses yours. But it can't be like that. I've heard that before.
Oh, man. So
Like
that way she gets a badass wizard and I get a honey-do list on my calf.
What's going on for thoughts?
Guys, we're actually going to keep talking about women. There's actually a woman who is growing up in front of our eyes, all of our eyes, and has been since 2011. She is one of the most powerful females on this planet. She knows all. She has never done wrong. Who am I talking about? Why did I phrase this tease like a riddle a wizard gives you to cross a bridge? Much, much more after the break.
All right, we'll do that right after this.
Staying one step ahead of the algorithms. Real Radio 1041 on Facebook. Find it and like it. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Still looking at some slowdowns on I-4 this afternoon in the usual spots in the Orlando area as you take the interstate east and westbound by the major Disney exits. Traffic also slowing down as you make your way through downtown Orlando. Be on the lookout for a crash with roadblock reported on OBT at Sand Lake. If you see any other traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Brightline Trains. Ride brighter with high-speed rail to South Florida. Experience premium lounge perks, roomier seats, and onboard meal and drink service with 16 daily departures to South Florida. Adult fares from $79, kids from $39. Book now at GoBrightline.com.
You probably already know that Real Radio is giving you a chance to win $1,000 by putting $1,000 in your hand. But now we have a chance for you to earn $5,000. You know the deal with our national contest. We'll give you the keyword at the top of every hour from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And all you have to do is enter it on our website at realradio.fm for your chance to win. With 13 chances every weekday, you have plenty of opportunities to win $1,000 in your hand. However, if you listen to Real Radio on our free iHeartRadio app, you can earn $5,000. Always remember, if you get the call, you need to answer your phone. That's right. The key to winning is picking up your phone when we call. So don't send us to voicemail. This contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Get Ready for College sale. Oh my, are you okay? My baby boy is going off to college. And move-in day is almost here. Well, right now through July 25th, you can save on everything they need for the semester. Plus, join us in-store on the 22nd and 23rd for giveaways, workshops, and more. Did you say savings? Yep. Come in-store or go to ikea-usa.com/readyforcollege to save on the semester. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on ikea-usa.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
You can always count on a classic. It's timeless and tastefully legendary. That's the truth behind the Troppy Chop. Often imitated, too delicious to be duplicated. The sauce just won't taste the same. But to really stand out, you gotta stay fresh and move to the beat of your own bowl. The Tropi Chop, only at Pollo Tropical. A classic that never goes out of style.
The Home Depot and Behr are there for pros and now offer same-day or next-day delivery on top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Get the most trusted paint brand in America delivered straight to your job site and spend less time stressing and more time painting. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Limitations may apply, not available in all markets. See store for details. Ranked most trusted paint brand based on 2023 Life Story research.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar & Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar & Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, Orlando.
Try new extra charge Dunkin' Refreshers with 50% more caffeine. Yes, 50% more caffeine. Available for a limited time, so try it today. America runs on Dunkin'. Drinks are fruit flavored. Contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Price and participation may vary.
With all the new people moving here recently, we thought it'd be a good idea to explain International Diamond Center. If you've lived here a while, you already know this, so bear with us. International Diamond Center, also known as IDC, is not an ordinary jewelry store. It was started decades ago by a major East Coast diamond supplier, Keith LeClaire. Keith had international connections with diamond cutters and would sell diamonds to upscale jewelry stores. Then he decided to start selling direct to the public at prices that undercut traditional jewelers in a big way. This no middleman approach caught on big, and now IDC is one of the largest and most successful jewelers in America, still providing exceptional quality and astonishing value. So if you've just moved here from New York or California or wherever, know that IDC is the area's go-to place for diamonds, fine designer jewelry, and Swiss timepieces. Just be prepared to be a little shocked when you see how great our values are, especially compared to where you came from. International Diamond Center. Just another great reason you made the move south. Get details, directions, store hours, and more at shopidc.com.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
2 degrees every minute. That's how fast a car heats up in the Florida sun. And cracking a window open does very little to keep the vehicle cool. A child's body temperature can rise 3 to 5 times faster than adults. Never leave a child or a pet unattended in a vehicle, even for a short period of time. If you see a child or pet locked in a car, take immediate action and call 911. Every time you leave your vehicle, check for kids and pets. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Your spark is all you need. And let's be real, you don't have time for smoke and mirrors anyway. So ditch all the pretentiousness and the lighter it rode in on with Blue. Blue e-cigs are available in a variety of satisfying flavors and nicotine strengths. Even better, it's odorless. When you're living unlit, you're comfortable being your true you. And no one will mistake ashtray for your signature scent. Blue. Get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Fontum Holdings 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fontum US LLC.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BANK. B-A-N-K. Bank. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
DJ Jack Flash is wrecking it today. How did Captain's Log Radio go off?
Well, I'm having a lot of fun, and we're
That's
getting
awesome.
a lot of good feedback on the texting service. Of course, this is an hour of Yacht Rock on Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock.
Perfect time to play it.
Yeah, and it's a great lead-in for Sunday morning coming down. Joseph appreciates it as well, but it's a lot of fun, and it just fits. You know, I'm drinking my coffee when it's playing. I'm interacting with the people who text, and I try and get a requested song at the end of every show, and having a lot of fun with it.
That's very cool. So check it out. It's Captain's Log Radio, Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock. And check it out for an hour there. It's hand-curated by our very own Jack Bradshaw.
Indeed.
All right, 407-916-1041. 6 o'clock keyword is bank, B-A-N-K. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000. Bank is your 6 o'clock keyword. Good luck. I am Jim. Deb is right there.
Hello.
And Jack is with us.
Yep.
And Ross has some thoughts.
It's weird.
Thank you, New Smyrna.
It's funny.
You were great.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
Love them
It's
Schmurnos.
Ross. Spelled like sauce.
Good beer.
It's Ross Thoughts.
Deserves good people. And if you're listening, I just want to tell you, you're a good person, so you deserve good beer. By Persimmon Hollow Brewing. So I had this thought, right? We're always talking about technology, AI, whether or not we're cyborgs. Who knows at this point?
Right.
It's a coin flip chance that I bleed oil and instead of veins, I have red and green wires.
You know, my wife was talking to me about this past weekend about the whole idea of like when are you not going to know if you're talking to a cyborg or not?
It is a thing, but there's one. You never forget your first, you know? You never forget your first semi-artificial intelligence. 2011, October, the world was introduced to Siri.
Oh.
Siri was my first, and you could make an argument and go, that's not even artificial intelligence. All I know is if that's not artificial intelligence, when I ask my phone something and she gives me an answer, then you might want to redefine your AI. You know, my heart goes out to Siri. She is special. She has literally kind of changed my life in the last month and a half by putting a reminder widget on my home screen. That sounds so simple, but it made a big impact on my productivity, especially in the mornings.
Just with the reminders and things, right?
Just with a reminder. And yeah, it's always been able to do that, but now you put the widget on your home screen, it is a game changer. But it got me thinking, we're only dealing with Siri, a Siri right now, who is 12 years old. This is still...
Oh, she's a tween.
It's a tween of an AI. This thing is still that young, and it's making me dictate. It dictates my actions to a level where, a great example, fitness rings on the phone. All iPhones and Androids, they all have some sort of go-to fitness app. Have you guys seen me walk up and down these stairs just so I can make this bitch happy?
No.
I set my calorie burn ring to the highest it could have been, and I fully regret it. But I don't want to disappoint my side lady.
Oh, I got you. Your side piece?
My side piece, my digital side piece. But it got legit mind-boggling that in 12 years, she is speaking quicker. She is speaking faster. When we first got Siri, it wasn't even like a, hey, Siri, and then she would wake up. You would have to hold a button and all of that. And she was also super dumb. And now I feel like Siri has surpassed me in a lot of ways. You know, when it comes to reminding stuff, to remind me to literally get up and move, which is a little tooty if you ask me. I think. Still.
Oh, this is if you've been a little too sedentary. She'll say you need to move around. You've been sitting too long.
Whoa.
Yeah. A little aggressive, right?
Don't tread on me.
Hey, yo, little POS, what you doing?
That does not work in Deb's world.
No.
Yeah.
Shut up, bitch.
No one reminds Deb to exercise.
No.
So, I mean, it's not just that. It's also the voice activation with Siri that I think is going to get better. I think in the next 20 to 30 years, she's going to be close to sentient. How are you doing, Siri? I'm not doing great. And
having a bad day.
I had a bad day. I spilled digital coffee on my digital
I was
pan.
gonna say, what could constitute a bad day for a fake person?
Well, she's all chippy and happy right now because she's still young. She still has hope in her eyes. You know, once you hit
her boobs are still perky.
Yeah. Once she hits late 20s, early 30s and starts to realize that this is it and that life isn't going to get much better, I think she's going to get pretty sassy.
A little surly?
Yeah, I just, what does Siri look like in 20 to 30 years?
Let me ask you, have they ever, so let's take it a little more literally than that. Have they ever associated an image with Siri? Like, do we know that if there is an actual, like an image that looks like Siri, like
That's going to be a big day.
Yeah, they would not go there.
Well, the interesting thing, and I only say this because in iRobot, right? What did we learn at the very end? There, that woman that was the
yeah.
She was like a digital. There was a digital image. Almost, it looked almost like Will Smith's wife. Yeah, digital Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, both had no hair.
Right. Yeah.
So it
both
worked
are
out.
completely illogical.
I always find this funny because out of us four, Jack and I are very Siri-oriented people.
Yes,
you guys
Siri
don't-
engaged.
Yeah, you guys don't Siri out too often.
We're not, but I have to tell you, listening to you talk about it over the last like 3 or 4 weeks, this past weekend, I actually did a little research on it. I was like, I'm gonna have to start instituting that on not only my laptop but on my phone as well.
Those reminders, it's so simple, but it was a big fix. But I always found this funny.
Jim knows how to do the widget thing.
Yeah. Well, he'll hack a mainframe. Jack does this, and I know he does this because I hear it.
Here we go.
And I also do it because I hear myself. I'm talking to you right now like you're a normal human being, but whenever I talk to my phone, something weird happens.
Like what?
If I were to go, hey, Jim, if you could possibly just remind me tomorrow at like 7:30 p.m. so I can get a fresh pack of pencils out of the office.
Yeah, dude, no problem. I got that.
My version of that to Siri is, hey, Siri. Hey, remind me at 7:30 tomorrow morning.
Well, you did call it her side piece.
To get pencils. If you could just remind me of that. Hey, Siri. I was just wondering if you could remind me to take the leaves off of the driveway. Oh, I think that was actually...
I think he activated Siri.
I did.
I think he turned her on.
But
In more ways than one.
Siri's like, is that Barry White?
But like, Jack, you pick up on it. When you talk to Siri,
You change your voice.
No,
voice.
I thought it would be more demanding. Like when you got all sexy, I was like, that's creepy. I would think you'd be like, Siri, remind me tomorrow, doctor's appointment at 6:15 a.m., and I can't have anything to eat or drink beforehand.
Yes. If I'm alone, that's how I talk to that
Right,
bitch.
let her know.
Yeah.
However,
Right. She's got to get it together.
well, I think I drop my voice because publicly it's, okay.
But it should be considered.
You shouldn't hear someone else trying to dictate a message to their phone.
Is that a flex? Like when you talk to Siri on the phone, like in public? Like
I think
Siri,
it's more embarrassing.
Yeah, I think
trade half my Apple stock tomorrow.
Yeah. If that's what I was telling Siri.
No, don't do it. Siri, don't do it.
Because I was under the impression a younger generation sees that as something, a voice Siri is something your parents do and something that's uncool. That's why I'm so glad that Ross embraced it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Siri is already considered uncool?
My sister does it, and my other sisters make fun of her all the time for it because she really works on her enunciation.
Oh, okay.
Siri, tell Brian to pick up broccoli on the way home.
Yeah, so everyone has, because here's the thing, you're like, why would you draw, why? I didn't expect it to sound sexy. I thought it'd sound more demanding. But this is how you sound when you aren't talking to anyone. That's what I've learned. Whenever I talk to
So you
Siri,
sound sexy when you're talking to AI?
No, it's not necessarily sexy, but it's just this
sexy.
monotone, low gray.
Because it's almost like you're embarrassed to be asking it to do stuff for you?
A little bit. It's
like, Siri, if you don't mind, remind me of my penis enlargement
yeah,
tomorrow.
like I'm saying it's hard to pinpoint, but I'm saying it like no one's listening. And it's the first time, I think, in my life where I'm speaking while I know no person is listening.
Look, that's when I know a generation has passed me, by the way. If I haven't even started using something that's already considered uncool.
Are we talking about the widget or Siri?
I'm talking about Siri. Like, I haven't even used it. I still think that's the future. and it already is uncool for people.
Or maybe it's cool again, and there's this gap there's this generation in between that are just lost.
Is there an Android version of Siri, or is it the same on Android?
Of course, and they'll tell you they had it first.
Yeah, absolutely. You can say that, but your texts still come in stupid ass green. And nonetheless, those are your Ross thoughts. Enjoy. This is it. We have society right now has a daughter. She's multilingual. She knows a bunch of languages, and this is the dumbest she's ever going to be today because she's getting smarter tomorrow and the day after that. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see the end result of what Siri looks like when we all get old.
Hey, Siri, remind me to remind Ross to tell us about Persimmon Hollow.
Ross Thoughts is brought to you by Persimmon Hollow Brewing.
It works!
Hey! Company. I'm here. Listen, I keep telling everybody about their blood orange wheat, and there's a reason why. It's the best summer beer I've ever had. But at night, when the sun is down, I like to go ahead and splash on a little bit of an IPA. Their Southbound Hiker New England IPA, that juicy, hazy beer, is ready for you at Persimmon Hollow Brewing Company. They have 5 locations all around Central Florida. My location is the downtown Orlando one, right off of Viola. So go out and check them what they have to offer. They have delicious beers. Visit them at phbeer.com. And never forget the best slogan in the game. Drink sensibly, but get weird. Get your Persimmon Hollow on. Those are your Ross thoughts. I'm out. Peace.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Bank is your 6 o'clock keyword. That's BANK. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Our friend Stephen Kramer, whom we haven't seen in a while, is up next.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Normal slowdowns continue on I-4 this afternoon, both east and westbound between 536 and 535, and between the Greenway and the 429. Still seeing delays from the earlier crash reported on OBT at Sand Lake that was blocking the roadway. No problems at this time for those taking the beach line itself or the Greenway. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's is always bringing pros more ways to save. Right now, save $50 when you buy the Tank 6-gallon pancake air compressor from Metabo HPT. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 7/6 through 7/26 while supplies last.
Car crash? Call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit MillsAir.com.
The podcast, The Girlfriends, tells the story of Carol and Mindy, 2 women who both dated a man named Bob. On paper, Bob is the total package, a successful plastic surgeon, a pilot. But Carol and Mindy discovered that Bob could also be a murderer.
I, in a joking way, say to him, well, what did you do, murder your wife? And his response was, what do you know?
Listen to The Girlfriends on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Oh, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%. So we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym. And I'm going to put in 166.7% effort, too.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
The Home Depot and Bear have what you need when you need it, delivered straight to your job site and at an everyday low price. We're now delivering top-rated Bear paint, stains, and primers directly to you same day or next day. Plus, pros earn discounts with Pro Extra Paint rewards. Contact a Bear Pro Paint specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limitations may apply. Not available in all markets. See store for details.
Baby boomers and retirees, protect yourself from the coming tidal wave of higher taxes. This administration's spend and tax schemes, along with their failed economic policies, are only going to add more to the taxes already being taken of your retirement savings. You can gain retirement tax protection from national talk show wealth strategist and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution. Learn how you can get a head start to be retirement tax smart. Imagine learning proven solutions, saving thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. Retirementprotected.com.
Be rewarded today. Donate life-saving plasma at Biomet Plasma. Your plasma can save lives, and you'll earn up to $400 in just 4 donations. Donating plasma is quick, easy, and worthwhile. Donate today at Biomet Plasma, 2501 Discovery Drive in East Orlando. Learn more at grifflesplasma.com.
Let's be real, Florida home insurance is an absolute nightmare. And with hurricane season at your doorstep, you need a home insurance company that you can depend on. That's why there's Open House. They're a tech-enabled home insurance provider that uses smart data to keep your premiums low. And you can get an obligation-free quote in seconds and join your neighbors that are saving hundreds of dollars with Open House. You can also get discounts for your smart life choices, like having a gym membership or a dog. So start saving today by going to openhouseinsurance.com. See openhouse.com insurance for details. This advertisement does not constitute a binding offer or guarantee of coverage.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
When money is tight, a little breathing room goes a long way.
It sure does. An Amscott installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back, all with no credit check. Amscott, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Just come out, the man when you're in trouble, car accidents, slips and falls, he's the only one that you should call. Just come out, when you're injured on the go.
Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
These days, more often than not, the success of a company is attributed to its founder. But that's only part of the story. My name is Noah Callahan Bever, and I'm proud to present Idea Generation's All Angles, a Will Packer Media podcast. We'll be talking to all the key players from all your favorite brands, like Loud Records, Ghetto Gastro, and Earn Your Leisure. So join me each week as we dissect the most dynamic companies in culture, because the only way to truly understand success is to look at it from all angles. Listen to Idea Generation's All Angles on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
You can watch radio being made on a daily basis. Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate that as we do every single day. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and hope you have a nice, productive week lined out for you this week. Stay cool out there as it gets nice and hot, and of course, protect yourself from those terrible storms. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack is as well.
Hello there.
Ross, too.
I'm pumped.
I am, too, man. We haven't seen this cat in quite a while. I text him occasionally, but I haven't seen him in a bit. You guys give it up good and loud for old friend Stephen Kramer. It's TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Offices right there in Altamont Springs. He looks as dapper as ever. How you doing, Steve?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing good, buddy. You look
a little
great,
bit.
man.
Been a minute.
It has been a minute. How's things? You good?
They go well. So I
He's staring at me.
relaxed.
Yeah, you look very relaxed. You know, it's funny you call in today because one of the things I talked to the guys about this morning, and I know you love talking about the entertainment business. I know you were in it for a while as a band member back in the 90s, and you paid.
Did a decent amount of entertainment law too.
Yep, you did that as well. And you and I really haven't had a conversation regarding AI or its application in the world of entertainment and plagiarism and things of that nature. But today, I know that there was a, I don't know how they, cease and desist isn't the word, but I believe that's how it was phrased on AI using prompts of authors to create works that are akin to their writing styles, which I found to be a very unique argument because when you dealing with AI and dealing with things that produce, based on it scouring the entire internet. And one of the prompts that we saw early was, hey, write me a story a la Steinbeck. And of course it will take Steinbeck's writing style into credit and his vocabulary into credit, his vernacular, how he would develop a character, and then they create a story like that. And apparently the artists are not happy about it. So I know that we're going to talk about some of that stuff.
Makes sense.
It does make perfect sense. And I have to tell you, Stephen, you and I have had a ton of conversations regarding this. When this stuff hit, and of course with the strike that we're having right now, partially dealing with AI, one of the first things I wondered is how they're going to stop it. Like, how are artists going to protect themselves against technology this powerful that can go out and scour the entire internet, all of man's creations in the matter of a finger snap, to create something completely unique from those creations? I didn't know how they were going to do that. I didn't know how they're going to protect themselves.
Well, I mean, and this has been something that we've been talking about for years. I mean, I think I came on the show, I don't know, 6 years ago, was talking about this stuff even before. And, AI, of course, has impact across a variety of different professions and careers, but especially when you're talking about writing, potentially legal, anything creative. Those are some of you're not going to deal with construction workers going out of business because of AI necessarily, but when you talk about drafting a legal document, when you talk about, writing a screenplay, writing a song, creating a work of art, that's exactly in the wheelhouse of what AI potentially does best. And then there's the other side as well, not just potentially infringing on creativity or impeding future creativity, but also with respect to name and likeness. The earliest cases of this were when you were talking about adult entertainment and the use of AI to superimpose celebrities onto, potential people producing porn, or maybe not even celebrities, maybe your neighbor or, somebody you met in the store potentially. All you need is, access to their Facebook or social media, and you have a library of content that can be used to generate those images. So those were some of the first kind of concerns that got raised. But now, as the product has matured, and of course with ChatGPT and the ilk going live, I think it's become a lot more clarified for everybody out there. And, speaking entertainment, we always kind of love to talk about the shows that are great, the music that's great. I just watched Black Mirror. I think Joan is Awful. Have you guys seen that?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
I mean, what a timely topic.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, I don't think it's a spoiler alert to say that, or I don't think you need a spoiler alert to say that basically it deals with AI generated likenesses of famous people in the production of content a la Netflix or, the Black Mirror version Streamberry.
Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty ballsy of them to do, considering it was almost like a self-attack there. It's almost like
lampooning the hand that feeds.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
but maybe that shows that Netflix is a good sport about it. I don't think the actors and writers will agree right now, but
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, the strike is among us, and this is one of the first times it's happened. I think Deb, since in 60 years or something.
Since 1960, and
we're both at the same time.
Yeah, and that was when Ronald Reagan was president of SAG-AFTRA.
So, we've heard this, and of course, highly paid actors will never get the sympathy of the general public, but that is such a super small portion of the acting.
There's so few. I mean, there's 10,000 or more actors on strike right now. I mean, there's 200 giant names out of that. You're talking about in 2% or less.
Yeah, and I think it's actually even more than 10,000. I mean, it is a lot of people. And maybe it's the total industry was like 160,000 people or something. Mm-hmm. It is a lot. But so where does this case go? Because what we've heard is basically the writers want to be protected from ChatGPT. They don't want studios going in there and just punching out scripts or even editing scripts or anything like that, creating ChatGPT and or the creative fields at all. Do they have a foot to stand on? I've heard the studios are going to be pretty hard on this and try to hold tight and kind of bleed them out until the fall. What do you know and what are you hearing?
By the way, on the number on strike, 160,000 actors.
Yeah. Wow.
Now think about how many of them you can name household names. But when we're talking about strikes, and of course there's the writer's strike and now there's the actor's strike, basically bring Hollywood to a grinding halt right now. You know, I saw Barry Diller basically say this could be the end of Hollywood effectively. And, you know, clearly tensions and tempers are high. If you saw the Instagram post that Ron Perlman made, filled with explicative, you know, this is something, there's a lot at stake here. And I think actors and writers understand that. There's a potential, if the terms of these contracts aren't put into place, use AI generated actors, you know, into the indefinite future. Well, and some actors have had the foresight. They've drafted estate planning documents. They've put it in their contracts, kind of preemptively understanding and maybe getting good advice on what's on the horizon. Of course, you know, those are the names that have that kind of bargaining power. But when you talk about, you know, run of the mill, if you're an extra or, you know, an actor that has few lines, you know, what future is there when somebody like you or an extra can be CGI generated?
Well, and theoretically, Stephen, couldn't the studios just go, hey, look, you know, we have all the production money. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say we'll write scripts with ChatGPT and we'll just bring people in and we'll just create new stars. You know, you can have all the other guys. We'll just create a whole new quiver of stars for you guys.
You know, there's two separate. The writing creator side of it, and the other is the performing side. And you know, when you talk about the potential for ChatGPT or generative AI to create content, you know, that is a looming threat. I'm sure it's already has application and is in use right now, and that's right. Basically, you use AI to generate an initial draft, and then you bring in some writers to go ahead and do some revisions and make it add the human dimension and maybe tweak the humor a little bit, and you've got a production that has, you know, a small percentage of man hours invested. So that's probably a legitimate concern there. And then there's the performance side, which is, you know, are the roles going to be replaced by generative AI, A, and B, are the actors themselves effectively signing over their rights to be duped in AI for infinity?
Yeah. Incredible, man.
So but you know, this is a contract negotiation. This is a union employer situation where they're going to be bargaining. And I think what the actors union has basically said is we've been putting band-aids and adding on little provisions to, you know, fix this broken contract that's been broken for a long time. But what we really need is to address this contract to meet the changing expectations and the changing nature of the entertainment industry. I mean, streaming wasn't in place and wasn't a serious factor when they negotiated the last contract. And studios are going, look, we're taking a hit. There's the theater attendance is down. You know, we have financial issues. We don't make the same money in ad revenue in the streaming that we did on traditional media.
That's right. And now they're proving that I believe that a lot of the latest social studies have basically showed that the advertising and social media doesn't have the same impact as it does elsewhere. So that's going to come to fruition as well soon. Let's move on to the Supreme Court ruling on affirmative action.
You know, one more thing on that, if you indulge me on it. There's also the creator side of it, not just writers. We're talking about actors, musicians, and there have been lawsuits already filed. The AI is making headlines across different types of news subjects right now. One of them is generative AI depends on input, right?
Yes.
You put the input in, and then the AI utilizes that input, and then develops a new product based on that input, right? So, you know, there's a lawsuit that's been filed by authors that basically said it's mass copyright infringement because AI is using hundreds of thousands of novels and works of authorship now to generate new content.
Yes.
And the argument there is this is effectively derivative content. You're taking a protected copyright and you're utilizing that to create something new.
Exactly.
So that's even a different facet of it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier with the authors. I mean, when you ask ChatGPT to create a work based on Shakespearean works, I want it to sound like Shakespearean. Well, it has to go and scan all of the Shakespearean works, pick up on that, use the subject matter in which you've inputted. Like let's say you want a Shakespeare story about your baby that was born with one arm and is now a pitcher in the major leagues or whatever, but you want it to sound Shakespearean. Well, the only thing it can lean on to sound Shakespearean is Shakespeare. That's it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. it is the new issue of our time when it comes to copyright law. But novelty and innovativeness is not something new, right? So we've tackled these issues before. Years ago, Crispin Glover was on one of the shows, and I think on Real Radio, and he was talking about when they did a mask of a plaster mold of his face to create a mask to put on top of an actor to impersonate him. And he generated a lawsuit over that years ago. Of course, this has come up with copy machines, with videotape. Anytime there's been innovation, it's been dealt with. And at the core of copyright law, at the core of IP, is the desire to inspire and support creativity, because that's where a lot of our value and wealth is as a country. So I don't doubt that the courts are up to tackle it. It's just where do we go?
Yeah, and again, I mean, this is all new ground. The one thing I do know is this. I was talking to my wife about this weekend. I said, because we were talking about the AI thing, I said, well, think about this. Internet has been around for quite a while now, 30 plus years. We've had the internet. It has largely gone unregulated. I mean, for the most part, without only a few exceptions, the internet is pretty much unregulated, right?
Because of Section 230,
right.
Partially.
Now, but understand this: how many hearings have they already had in the federal government since OpenAI went public? What,
yeah.
two already, right? And it's only been public for 3 months. So that should tell you, that should already tell you that the people in the know understand the power that's looming with this technology.
That's right. And and look at the Marvin Gaye Alan Thicke case. Just that was the case where Blurred Lines,
yes.
right?
Robin
Thicke and Pharrell were accused, and other authors were accused of copying Got to Give It Up by Marvin Gaye, and that they brought a musicologist. The melody isn't the same. The core of the argument was the vibe was the same.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can see how that could easily translate to this AI situation. If you were to write a song and I was to copy it, if I didn't change enough elements and I use that as a source material, effectively, I've infringed on your copyright. So I think there's a good argument by a lot of these authors. Of course, the other side of it is, does ChatGPT potentially enhance creativity? Does it empower a new generation of people to utilize it? So it's going to be that balancing act of protecting creativity that's already been made and that could be made in the future, with the opportunity for even more innovation and creativity.
Yeah, 100%. Here with Stephen Kramer.
And protecting rights.
TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Stephen, the Supreme Court ruling on affirmative action was saying that it means Hollywood and employer diversity are under threat now. Tell me what you mean by that.
So effectively, the Supreme Court just ruled that colleges cannot use race as a determinative factor in admissions. Right. And the key here is, there's the Civil Rights Act of 1964. You've got Title VI, which deals with colleges. You got Title VII, which potentially, deals with employment discrimination. And effectively, what the court says is that, from Roberts, basically says eliminating racial discrimination means eliminating all of it. And the argument there from the majority is that schools should be colorblind. Now, one of the justices, Gorsuch, effectively does this concurring opinion and kind of highlights how employment law looks a lot like education, almost setting the stage for where this goes now. The idea being that you are going to see arguments, there's already lawsuits filed that may work their way to the Supreme Court that basically say some of these diversity initiatives are unlawful because they're not colorblind. They center around preference.
Yeah, around race. But where this comes into play in Hollywood, of course, all we've heard, not all we've heard, but we've heard it pretty consistently over the last at least 10 or 15 years, that there have been a lack of black and brown lead roles in Hollywood, right? That's been a big thing, and they've wanted more diversity because at the Oscars, that's one of those things you never see black actors or brown actors getting Best Actor or Best Actress awards, and that has been a big thing with Hollywood for a while, that there has not been enough inclusivity when it comes to major roles in Hollywood.
Well, remember, these roles are a form of employment, for one.
Sure.
So that's part of it. Basically, these DEI diversity initiatives are potentially under threat if and because they potentially give preference. And that's what the Supreme Court basically says is you can't prefer any race, you can't discriminate against any race. And effectively, for instance, in the Harvard case, there was discrimination, the court found discrimination against Asian Americans,
Right.
And so you're going to see this, you're going to see litigants try to apply this idea to employers, and it's going to carry over to Hollywood as well, because they've had a very clear effort to include diversity as part of their goals.
Absolutely.
They've reworked award shows. Many companies have kind of put criteria in place that have clear guidelines about lead roles, about supporting roles, and where there needs to be diversity. And these are just the sort of issues that you're going to see litigated now, because effectively, the Supreme Court's opened up the door for this.
Yeah. And let's move on to the fun stuff, the really important stuff, Stephen.
Yes.
And that is our subscriptions to our streaming services. The Federal Trade Commission going after Amazon to make it more difficult to cancel your Prime subscription. I don't know if you guys heard this story this past week. There was a gigantic complaint, and I believe a lawsuit filed on how difficult Amazon has made it to cancel your Prime subscription. Like, they make it very hard. So the Federal Trade Commission came in and said, let's take a peek. What'd they find?
Okay, so basically this deals with Amazon Prime subscriptions. The argument from the FTC is that the whole mechanism is deceptive, right? So what they say is it's called Dark Patterns. It's a website known as Dark Patterns, and it's designed to enroll consumers into Prime without their consent. And it basically deals with Amazon effectively, allegedly seducing users into subscribing for Prime, and potentially adding it to their order, all these different instances where it kind of brings users to Prime, and then on the other side of it, making a very inconspicuous link to decline, to not subscribe, and making it difficult to cancel. So of course, this is alleged. You're going to see a strong response from Amazon, a huge company, very well-run company, obviously, and very popular company. But this is, they call it cancellation trickery.
Well, can I tell you, they're not the only one that does it. I've tried to cancel my Apple stuff, and I swear to God, I have to have a doctorate in electronics. I almost had to build the thing to know how to cancel it. I find it to be the most difficult thing to do online is to cancel a subscription of almost any sort.
I sometimes Google how to cancel a certain thing just to get the steps, so I don't have to waste time trying to find it, because I know they bury it. Too. They bury it on their site.
There was one time I had a subscription service of like some cool video game stuff, whatever, nerd stuff, but I had to cancel my credit card.
Wow. That's how difficult they made it?
By the way,
that's what I've been told to do is call Wells Fargo and just tell them to cut the payment off completely. That's how you cancel it.
I mean, you change your credit card number or shut down the credit card, whatever it is that ends the payments. But then again, maybe you get a bill from a bill collector and start getting phone calls in 3 months.
Oh God!
So that Joan is Awful episode of Black Mirror also dealt with end user license agreements. We all have those.
Right.
You get your Apple, you get your Galaxy, whatever you get. You scroll down. It's like the contract from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's 50 pages long. Nobody reads it. You scroll to the bottom. You've got no choice but to agree, and you agree to it. That made an appearance in that episode too. So also timely. But one of the things that Amazon's accused of doing is basically forcing consumers or strongly encouraging them into enrolling in Prime Video instead of just Prime alone. So the argument is that Amazon makes it difficult or obfuscates the fact that consumers can just pay for Prime and not do the upsell for Prime Video.
Wow.
And then there's the flip side of it. The cancellation trickery is what they call it. That's the allegation, that basically they claim that Amazon's sabotaging the attempts to get out of the subscription. And it's actually known supposedly inside the company as the Iliad flow. And it requires users, this is all alleged, to navigate a 4-page, 6-click, 15-option cancellation process.
Oh, man.
Now, compare that with enrolling. To cancel, 4 pages, 6 clicks, 15 options. To enroll, 1 or 2 clicks.
Yeah, 1 or 2 clicks, that's it.
And I'm assuming they bring up Iliad because it is a journey to cancel.
Hey, one quick thing before you get out of here. You saw Asteroid City. The funny thing is, I'm a massive Wes Anderson fan.
Me too.
But I I have heard so many hot and cold things about this movie. I haven't chosen to make a date to go see it yet. Is it worth it?
It is the most Wes Anderson
That's
movie
what
there is.
That's what everybody
That's
says.
what I keep hearing about it.
It is like when I just saw the stills, the color of the movie. I'm like, that's a Wes Anderson movie. I was like, that's a Wes Anderson movie. You can see them a mile away.
Yeah.
So what makes it work is this. If it was just a straight movie, I think it would feel cold and almost kind of isolated and not real world, right? But the way they do it, it makes it work because it's basically a play inside of a movie. And that's that's the first lines of the film. So most of the movie is actually a play. And that makes it feel less, I guess, contrived.
Yeah.
Right, because if it's supposed to be a movie in the real world and it looks like that with that very elaborate, detailed, stylistic production design, it almost has this uncanny valley, feel of arbitrariness.
Yeah.
But because they kind of have that, they make that conceit, I think it kind of works a little bit more. But a lot of the delivery is very deadpan. It's an all-star cast. For sure. I mean,
all of his movies are. But I mean, Grand Budapest I found to be that way as well. I just found it to be like almost not corny. That's not the word, but it came off like a movie inside a movie, just so they could show you the set design.
But it was a flashback in that movie, right? So it starts with somebody going to the hotel and then meeting with the guy who tells the story. So it's almost in retrospect. I think it's worth seeing. It's is it my favorite Wes Anderson movie? No. I only just saw it, so I haven't quite digested it, and there's a lot to digest. There's it's got a lot of production design. I think people that like Wes Anderson will like it, and I think people that are on the fence or don't like him are definitely not going to be fans.
It's going to be all Steve Zissou for them, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that's probably the closest comparison. It's got that very Zissou feel.
Well, you guys give it up. We haven't seen him in a while, but we always love talking to him. Mr. Stephen Kramer.
Yay!
That's TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Office is right there in Altamont Springs. He's the greatest. Good seeing you, big dog. I'll call you soon, all right? We should catch up a little bit more.
You guys are the greatest, dude.
All right, buddy. We'll see you soon.
All right, man.
Wonderful guy. Got it. Just a wonderful dude, man. All right. 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
Make us think or make it funny. Just make it good. Get on board now for Last Call on the Jim Colbert Show. 407-916-1041.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Ian Cassette with your Central Florida forecast. We'll see overcast conditions here through this evening with a chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies overnight with a low near 76 degrees. On Tuesday, afternoon showers and storms return, especially by the early afternoon. That would bring temperatures from around 92 degrees as a high down back into the 80s, so a little bit of relief. We'll continue to see afternoon storm chances through the rest of the week. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Ian Cassette.
This report is sponsored by Brightline Trains. Ride brighter with high-speed rail to South Florida. Experience premium lounge perks, roomier seats, and onboard meal and drink service with 16 daily departures to South Florida. Adult fares from $79, kids from $39. Book now at GoBrightline.com.
Man, everybody knows how hot it gets in this state. It is brutal, and it's going to be that way until the end of September, maybe even October, hell, maybe even longer. Is your AC ready for these journeys that it has to take in the heat in Florida? If not, Mills Air. Remember that. Mills, M-I-L-L-S, Mills Air. Here's why. Deb's mom, her AC quit. She'd been dealing with the company for like 7 years, knew them. She called. They could not make it happen for her. One phone call to Mills Air. Got a staff over there immediately. Got her AC working good enough until they could get a new system in, which they did 3 days later. Killed it for them. Ross moves into a house that doesn't even have central heat and air. They have to get the system designed for it, and that's what they do. These guys go above and beyond every single time they come to your property. If it's for a major switch out or just a preventive maintenance plan, it doesn't matter. They treat it the same exact way. Their techs are awesome, and if you happen to need a new unit, they're Carrier factory authorized dealers. That could get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and certainly turn to the experts at family-owned and operated Mills Air. These guys are the greatest. 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
Slowed down, held back, inhibited. What you get out depends on what you put in. Rejuvenate your engine's performance with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, because true performance knows no bounds. New and improved Shell V-Power Nitro Plus removes up to 100% of performance-robbing deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. Continuous use in gasoline direct injection engine fuel injectors.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Running a small business takes grit and determination and a communications provider that's got your back. That's Spectrum Business. Fast, reliable communication solutions that keep your business going. Get 300 megabits per second internet, just $49.99 a month when bundled with Spectrum Business Connect, the all-in-one phone system that lets you work from anywhere on any device. And get a free mobile line for a year. Visit spectrum.com/go faster. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
You can always count on a classic. It's timeless and tastefully legendary. That's the truth behind the Troppy Chop. Often imitated, too delicious to be duplicated. The sauce just won't taste the same. But to really stand out, you gotta stay fresh and move to the beat of your own bowl. The Troppy Chop, only at Pollo Tropical. A classic that never goes out of style.
The Home Depot and Behr are there for pros and now offer same-day or next-day delivery on top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Get the most trusted paint brand in America delivered straight to your job site and spend less time stressing and more time painting. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Limitations may apply, not available in all markets. See store for details. Ranked most trusted paint brand based on 2023 Life Story research.
So apparently Facebook is still a thing? Search gym members and join our group.
Alrighty. So we got the Nespresso coffee maker not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. So it will be in our possession for almost 2 years. We'll call it a year and a half now. 2 years come this Christmas. I make a cup of that every single morning. My girlfriend usually does as well. It is the best coffee maker I've ever had. Makes the best flavored or best tasting coffee I've ever had in my life from any home coffee pot. And Jack, go to the store, get the Chobani creamer. You don't need sugar.
I gotta have a lot of rules. 407-916-1041. We're completely full for last call, so let's just get to it. Deb, who do we have to thank today?
We want to thank Dr. Patricia Ann Brown with CNS Healthcare. Very fascinating interview with her about their use of psychedelics and microdosing.
Absolutely. By the way, and if you want to be part of that study, cnshealthcare.com. They're still signing people up. Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, I was going to give you the Twitter question.
Go ahead.
Oh, we also want to thank Brandon Kravitz, attorney Stephen Kramer from TK Law, OneFirmForLife.com, and last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running that crazy YouTube chat.
Yeah, it just reminded me how bad of a friend I am. I should have called Steven 100 times since then. I haven't talked to him in a little bit. He is genuinely one of my favorite people on planet Earth. Question of the day.
Speaking of YouTube chat, it's in YouTube chat. We have our question. If the procedure was free, would you want a penis enlargement for you or your partner? What percentage of the people said yes, Jim?
2% said yes.
2%.
2.
Close. 29% said yes.
Oh, my God.
For the free penis enlargement for either them or their partner.
Stand up quick.
Next weekend, if it all goes to plan, I'm going to be out in Nashville doing Zany's Comedy Club.
Nice, dude.
One of the best comedy clubs in the country on the 26th and 27th of next week.
If you're out there, look him up, man. All right, here we go.
Let's get it.
Acorn, last call.
Hey, Deborah, I haven't touched my tools since I got diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome. Can you help a brother out?
Oh, mighty. That went downhill quick.
Yeah, it did.
Big T, last call.
Stephen Kramer's got it going on. With his legal advice, you surely can't go wrong. Kovacho, can't you see? Kramer's the best attorney. And I know I might be wrong, but I love Kramer and Tremblay all day long. God damn it.
So close. It's so nervous. Angry Eric, last call.
My acorn is fantastic, you son of a bitch.
He's becoming my new favorite, by the way. Ivanhoe Dave, last call.
So I'm back from Vermont. What a drive that was.
Oh.
Let me ask Jack a question. Jack,
yeah,
you're from New Jersey, right?
Yes, sir.
Why do New Jersey, New York people, Connecticut people drive the way they do? Like, you got Mercedes pulling up at 80 miles an hour in the fast lane and then going around you and then brake checking you because you're not doing 80 miles an hour. I'm doing 70, 75, but I'm not doing 80.
It's too many people and too small an area. That's the problem.
They drive like dum-dums. But anyway, I'm back to Vermont, safe and sound, $6,600 in my pocket.
All right.
And I won my scratch-off at my little favorite store in Georgia.
Very good, dude. Oh, man, you had a great trip then. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that call. Take us home, Mike Larson. Last call.
I'm not worried. AI couldn't possibly replace my idiocy in last call. This is Mike Buzzer Larson here, and here is the proof. Jim, I walked into an establishment yesterday and said I'd like to order French fries, a burger, and a milkshake. The lady stated, "Sir, this is a library." You know what I said to her, Jim?
What'd you say, buddy?
I want to order a French fries, a burger, and a milkshake. Give me the button.
I should not laugh at that. Great job, Mike. Good job. Redemption for Mike.
Yay!
Let's get out of here. What'd you do? What'd you do? That's new tomorrow.
Yeah,
Fletcher.
Paramount, I had to download the damn app.
Oh, it's
What?
not on Paramount. I logged in. It's on Paramount if you have the Showtime add-on. You have to have Showtime to watch this.
Oh.
We don't have Showtime.
We don't have Showtime.
None of us do.
But I fully expect you to still get it tonight and watch it, or if not, all of you are fired. I don't care. Watch whatever, and we'll talk about it then. All right. On behalf of Deb, Jack, and Ross, I'm Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters of the Morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Last. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a wonderful Monday evening.
Bye.
Oh, Lord.
A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, lowest prices